What is up, everybody in the chat? Welcome to the Tuesday afternoon live stream here at the Salty Nerd Podcast. We have a lot of really cool topics to discuss today. We're gonna have some controversial takes as well. So I honestly, I'm gonna have to do a disclaimer real quick. We're gonna earn our name.
This is not the stream you think it is
this
today.
Salty Nerd Podcast that we are gonna earn our name today. So just be prepared for that. If you get offended by something that we say, or if you think we're crazy, tough noogies. I'm joined as always by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader's here. What's up, dude?
Hi.
How you doing, man?
Woo! We are here. I'm awake, sort of.
I don't know how, because we were up until what, 3 a.m. last night?
I met you. Listen, I am 53. Okay. I don't need to go to movies at 11 o'clock at night. That is weird, but it's the only time I can find to go right now.
Yeah.
So you and me went and watched Mr. Wick last night at 11 o'clock. Got home at 2:30 because the movie's
4 hours long.
1,400 hours long. Yeah.
But
that's that. Matthew Kadish is here today.
Matthew Kadish is here producing the show.
Yeah, I'm trying to anyway.
See what I did there? I took your intro. Matthew Kadish is here today.
Yeah. We should point out that Jude was feeling a little under the weather, so she's not going to be joining us today, even though she made me watch Butt Boy and I made her watch John Wick 4. So
you both should be equally irritated with each other.
Something like that. Although Butt Boy was an interesting movie. I'm sure we'll get into it later on.
Interesting.
You're the only one that's seen it.
Yeah. So can't wait to hear your take on Butt Boy.
Butt Boy.
Before we get into our main topics, I just want to give our sponsor for the show a quick shout out. Go to shop.exker.com and / the podcast and get yourself a new Space Age wallet. If you're still rocking the leather Costanza wallet, now is the time to change it up. This has a blocker so people can't steal your information. It also comes with a Bluetooth GPS tracker so you will never lose your wallet again. We teamed up with Brian and Shane over there at the podcast for this sponsor, so we'd like to thank them as well. Go to the website shop.exker.com/thepodcast and type in the podcast at checkout for 25% off. I have one myself, and I personally recommend it. I think it's really nice. It's way better than the leather one that I had before.
Hey,
I have already used the Bluetooth tracker. What's up?
Did you know we're giving one of those away on Saturdays?
Are we giving one of those away on Saturdays? What?
Yeah.
What time do you guys go live on Saturdays?
Saturday mornings at 10 a.m.
I had no idea.
Yeah. We do. We're doing a weekly drawing for an entry.
What?
Into the big drawing. When is the big drawing, Matthew?
It'll be at the end of April.
At the end of April.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Make sure you're tuning in on Saturdays as well to get that giveaway. I do recommend it personally. I really do. This is nice. I got the I think they call it green ore color. I really like that. I'm fancy like that though. But they have leather ones, they have aluminum ones, they have a whole bunch of different options that you can grab on that website.
Tell us more, Alex.
We'll tell you more. All right. I'm going to tell you about freaking John Wick.
Oh, we're going there first?
Oh, we're not going to do that? Oh.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, he's typing up something in the comments.
Man.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is typing.
Anyway,
I'm planning something.
So we went to a newer theater for us. I don't usually go to the South Point Theater.
Is it newer? I think it's refurbished.
It's refurbished or whatever, but it's new for us. What I mean is like we don't go to that one normally.
You're Galaxy people.
Yeah. And he's got a little side. Look, it's like CNN. Like Donald Trump said something offensive on Twitter. Like, can we have that on the bottom? That would be kind of fun.
I mean, we can have whatever you want on the bottom.
That sounds like fun.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's do Trump jokes.
Bigly.
It's
a big movie.
Anyway, the movie theater was nicer than I expected.
The movie theater was huge.
It was huge. It was a huge movie theater. Everybody had their own seats. It's great.
With privacy walls.
Reclining. Yeah. Although they didn't recline as far back as I wanted them
to. The recliners kind of suck.
Just suck.
For a fat fuck like me, they weren't as comfortable as the Galaxy ones.
Galaxy theaters is the way to go. I want to go back there next time. Anyway, John Wick 4. I'm gonna prepare for this, dude.
Take your glasses off.
I'm probably gonna
They're gonna get steamed up.
This is an unpopular opinion.
No, it's not.
That movie sucked.
It was bad.
It was so bad. I love the first one. I adore the second one. I think the third one is awesome. Shit. The fourth one, trash. This was so dumb.
Trash.
Like everything wrong with slaction movies, which is just action movies that take a really thin plot from one scene to another with no real tension and no real delivery. And they're just like, Well, we're slapping stuff on the screen for you to watch. Like that is what this movie did.
For some reason, John Wick turned into a John Wick knockoff.
Yeah. It felt like a knockoff.
It turned into a Chick Wick movie.
That's a really appropriate way to describe it.
Yeah.
John Wick became a knockoff of itself.
Yeah.
It really did. The choreography of the first 3 movies was slick.
There's something
when you had multiple people coming towards you, you would see them think through it in the stunts and say, okay, what would I do if I have more than one person coming at me? I would do this, this, and this. And you would watch them like choreograph these fight scenes perfectly to the point where like you actually believed that this dude was like, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch of your imagination, but you had fun watching it. In this movie, they pulled like the lowest common denominator stunt choreography where like he would shoot one dude, and the bullets don't do anything in this movie either. You would shoot one dude and he would sit there and stagger for like 10 minutes while you kick the other guy's ass.
It was like a video game.
It was so
That's
dumb.
exactly what I was going to say. Alex and I look at each other and we go, this is just nothing but levels in a video game, complete with the map area and the side quests and the rewards. It was ridiculous.
I think we should warn our audience that we are going to be spoiling the shit out of
we're going to
thing.
spoil the shit out of this movie.
But you don't want to go see it anyway, so it's okay.
No, save your $20.
Save it for streaming. It really like.
Now I will say this: it was a fun movie to watch at least once.
Yeah,
like, I really liked the action scenes. If you cut out all the action scenes from this 3-hour movie, because it is like 2 hours and 50 minutes, the movie would be 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think they jumped the shark.
They absolutely did. They jumped the shark. And it's not only that they jumped the shark, they did a bad job with it. The choreography is not as good.
It's not. It's
the CGI is trash. It's absolute trash.
Maybe it's because we saw it on like a 85-inch screen.
I literally, there's one scene where I literally see a bunch of pixels in the middle of the screen. And this might be because I was, feeling good last night.
Maybe.
But I literally saw a batch of pixels come up on the screen really quickly, and then they disappeared. But you can totally tell that it's animated and fake in many, many parts of this movie in the action scenes.
There's no blood in this movie unless
the style is completely different from the other 3 movies. You know what I'm saying? There's something organic and ridiculously fake, but still seems real about the first few movies, especially the first 2, when they're just doing the gun fu stuff
well, you know what it is? It's like there was a certain level of realism to it.
Yeah.
So like when John Wick got hit by a car, it felt like he got hit by a car. In this movie, he gets hit by like 20 cars.
Oh my God.
He falls out of like the 5th story of a building like 8 times.
Right.
Lands on concrete, lands on vans, and he just gets up and he's just like, oh, that hurt. And then like he gets back to like kicking ass.
Yeah,
it's like the level of punishment he took in this movie, it got to comic book level.
Yeah, it is. It's what they've done is they've done the same thing the Fast and the Furious movies have done. They went from a really cool concept movie.
Yeah, and they just
then they just went full comic book MCU bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, John Wick might as well have a fucking cape and spandex. It's for real.
He's indestructible. He unlocked God mode in this movie.
Yeah,
like
when they got all these stupid bulletproof fucking
don't get me started on like
it's just
when they introduced the concept of a Kevlar suit in like the first few movies, it was like this will give you an edge on the competition.
Right.
It's not like
bulletproof.
A hold your cape up and stop a bullet.
You're not wearing a 1-inch piece of tempered steel.
Yeah, literally half the movie, he was running around with his jacket in front of his face, getting bullets shot at him and just deflecting them. I was like, this is nonsense.
And the guys who were fighting against had the exact same type of suits. Yeah. And I can understand like, okay, we have to have situations where he actually does get shot, but we don't want to wound him. Like I felt like I was playing like the Division. I don't know if you guys ever played that game.
The bullet sponges.
It's basically they had like a bunch of bullet sponge mobs that he had to like kill and get through, and even like the guys in like the weird like samurai assault gear at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like he'd just be like shooting at their armor, and then he'd have to get up close and stab them at like a kink in their armor or something like that. Yeah. Even that didn't kill him right away.
Yeah, they would stagger and get up, and then he would like go kick somebody else's ass and then come back to the other dude and finish him off.
For the first 45 minutes of this movie, I was wondering where John Wick even was. Because it was all about this hotel in Osaka. And
the Japanese characters that we don't know and don't care about?
Don't know about and don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
So
They spent a lot of time on this little
it's
family
like,
dynamic.
Oh, hey, we might be making a TV show about these people. So we probably
we're
should
gonna
give them
spend 30 minutes.
We're going to
with
give
them
a lot of setup and stuff.
But
in the show.
what really took me out, and I was like, I was kind of eye rolly, but I was still enjoying the fun fight scenes because they are like, they're dumb, but they're fun. So I was kind of like, okay, and they're very colorful and very bright, and the set pieces are cool. So there's that. So I was in, and then when we go to Russia, and he has to earn his way back into his family.
It wasn't Russia.
It was Germany.
It was
Berlin, but they had a Russian family there or something like
so
that.
like his Russian,
they're gypsies.
His Russian cult was like based out of Berlin for some reason.
Anyway,
they don't really explain a lot.
This was when the video game took over completely,
Yeah.
and we were like, I literally leaned over to you and I'm
Side
like,
quest.
this is side quest. Here, he's gonna get a side quest right now. Watch.
Quest.
And she's like, I won't let you back into the family unless you kill this man and bring proof of death. And I'm like, oh, all right. So he has to go kill this other boss.
Yeah.
Get a
It's like
get a coin and then bring it back.
It's like when you're in Diablo, playing Diablo, right? You're just like going around killing the wandering ways. Oh, there's a cave. I wonder what's in that cave. It's like, oh, if I go down to the third level of this cave and kill this boss, I'll get a new shiny thing I can take to somewhere. Yes, get out of
You know what killed me about
That's
this
ridiculous.
section of the movie is that so like he has to go to this Berlin nightclub in order to like find this like Berlin assassin who's like this dude in a fat suit.
Yeah.
And the entire time I'm watching this, so like John Wick is brutally murdering like a bunch of people in the middle of the dance floor of this nightclub, and you see all these like Russians like douche douche.
Yeah,
like,
they're
just
still going.
sitting in
They're
the
still going
background
at
dancing, and like the entire time, like people are like dying right next to them, and sometimes you'll see the dancers be like, oh shit, that's weird, and then like the next cut they'll be back dancing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, is this a German thing? Do they just not care about people
About
being
death and
slaughtered in
mayhem?
front of them?
I know. There's people in the chat going, "This is a fun movie. This is a great movie. You guys don't understand." It's like, listen, this is not a successor to the first three movies of this show. It is completely different.
No, go watch Gunpowder Milkshake, and you'll see what we're talking about. Because that movie is a Chick Wick movie.
This is literally a John Wick knockoff with
John Wick in it.
John Wick in it.
Yeah,
and it's really sad to me.
It bums me out. It did bum me out. Yeah.
Do you know how much of a knockoff this movie is? What did you guys think when basically in the third act it turned into a remake of The Warriors?
Yeah.
Remake of The
It's
Warriors.
like, oh, we're just gonna do John Wick 2 for the first for that middle third part of this movie. It's like, hey man, just take me on the boat to as close as you can to the place where I'm having a duel. But then the thing with the radio chick, and it's like, oh, we're gonna get all these Paris assassins to go out, and it's not like you don't know he's not gonna get to the end.
Yeah, there's no tension.
There's no tension in this.
But
it's like, oh shit, he better go up those 280 step stairway.
That scene.
And then
no, hold on, we're not there yet.
It's just it's so dumb.
That scene where he's fighting, like they have a map of the city on the wall. And it's like got this black glow, right? And every time he moves, they're like, oh, now he's at this checkpoint.
Yeah.
Now he's at this checkpoint.
You know all these video games on your phone where you put like Super Mario World where you like go to this zone.
Yeah.
Then you go up the path to this zone.
That's literally what this movie was.
To this zone. So the Arc de Triomphe, the Eiffel Tower,
the
whatever, all these
the church,
places.
yeah.
It's like there's just different zones on the map. And he has to kill the boss at every fucking place.
Yeah.
And at every place they have a big action
sequence. That big fat dude in the purple suit, the big fat guy in the purple suit, dude.
We went full.
I can't.
Dick Tracy
I couldn't even do it. I was like, this belongs in Sin City. What is this?
Oh, Sin City or Dick Tracy. He was a cartoon villain.
And he acted like a cartoon villain.
We've gone from the Russian mob guy, in the first movie, who was like one of my favorite bad dudes ever. I love that guy, the dad.
Vigo. Why did you hit my son?
Why did you kill my son?
Well, because he stole John Wick's car.
Because he killed my dog. Okay. It's like, but you know that
he was a realistic character.
He was a realistic character.
Yeah.
He didn't have a fucking metal plate on his head.
It was like a James Bond
giant fucking ears, or big nostrils in the nose.
What do you think about
the fat guy? Looked like he belonged in Dick Tracy.
He's a Dick Tracy villain.
What about the scene where he actually fights the guy and the big fat Russian dude who's already been shot several times?
He's German, actually.
Big fat German dude who's been shot several times goes out and starts doing spin kicks against John Wick. I'm like, this
after he takes a puff of his
I'm gonna take my inhaler. He takes it. I'm like, oh my god,
it was so bad. It's
like a far cry from where this movie's franchise has been.
Yeah, like the part where they're playing cards. So like when John Wick is delivered to this Berlin assassin guy, he's sitting at a card table like you'd see in a casino, and he plays a 5-card hand with him, the blind assassin dude, and the hunter guy. And for somehow, I don't know if you guys thought about this at all, the blind guy played by Donnie Yen? Yeah. He somehow is able to tell what hand he has.
It's because he's that good.
Yeah,
because he can count cards.
But did you guys notice the guy who played the hunter, Shamier Anderson? Did you recognize him at all?
I've seen his face before, but I don't remember what it was from.
So he's in one of our all-time favorite TV shows, Invasion. He was the black soldier.
He was the soldier guy.
He was the soldier, the guy with the dog?
Yeah. Okay.
I actually didn't really mind his character. He seemed like he could be a witch.
He's the most realistic one in there.
Yeah.
We got a super chat from Whiskey Jack. I'm surprised we're getting any super chats today because we're not going to be popular, and that's okay.
No, I'm looking at Danny likes it again.
Well, somebody in there's got the caps lock stuck on.
Yeah.
Whiskey Jack for 2 pounds. Love you guys. Metal sign. Getting full Dead Sea on Wick 4. Yeah, I was not a fan of this movie, man. I'm so sorry. There was something that Danny commented about the overhead shot, and I was like, that was cool.
That was interesting.
Interesting change. I did not like it, but when I was watching it, all I could think about was that stick figure game that you can play on your phone, where all you do is you can just move this.
They literally went full video.
Let me be clear about something. The action scenes in this movie
next level
were great. They were fantastically choreographed, shot. I really like the overhead thing with the fire shotgun.
The fire shotgun was dope.
It got a little bit overplayed.
But here's the thing, though. We're talking about the substance of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like previous John Wick movies actually had substance to them. You cared about what was going on. You cared about the characters. You cared about the world building. This felt like a huge step back in all those things. Yeah. You should have heard Jude. Like she was constantly sighing throughout this movie. She was like, does no one know how to do accents anymore?
Yeah.
Like no one's accent, especially like the marquee guy. Like none of their accents sounded authentic. This movie in the third act basically becomes a remake of The Warriors,
where they just run through the town.
But and it's a shameless ripoff too. But the thing that got me the most every time Winston showed up on screen, I was just like, this movie is all about Ian McShane's dentures now.
Okay. Oh my God, those dentures were so big.
Yeah. Not only were they big, but they were like bright white and they were so obviously fake teeth. And they affected how he spoke.
They did change his accent. I was like, something's different. But what is this guy talking about? Woke points? Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. Not at a single point in time have we said, no, we needed more women in this movie. You're going crazy, dude. Relax. Just because we didn't fucking like the movie doesn't mean we want fucking trans people in it. You're an idiot. No, it's a far cry from what I loved about the first 3 movies is the world building, the Continental and this and that. This movie was just like, well, kind of, we'll mention a couple of things about that, but overall it's just going to be getting John Wick from point A to point B. And when you talk about the choreography, I know you said you liked it. There's moments that I liked, but there's so many inconsistencies with how the bullets work in this movie. Like sometimes he gets shot and he gets blown across the room. Sometimes he gets shot.
He's bulletproof now,
and it doesn't do anything. And then sometimes, like the guys in the silver suits, they would get shot and nothing would happen to them. But then the lady would walk up and stab him with a knife, and they'd be like, "Oh my God!" And then she would like climb up that one dude that was on the staircase.
Yeah, the knife would actually go through the bulletproof suit.
I'm like, hold on, man.
It's like I'm not saying that the action scenes aren't good, but they're just. They didn't feel like
Wick. They didn't feel like Wick.
Yeah,
I know.
And there was too many of them, and they were too long. This movie should have been an hour shorter than what it was.
Easily.
And there were too many times where like John Wick would basically get like thrown off of like a second or third story thing.
Oh God!
And hit concrete.
Yeah.
And then get up like nothing happened. Like there's a whole set piece in this movie where he falls down like multiple flights of stairs, and like we're talking like concrete stairs. And he's just like, okay, like he just pops back up.
Yeah.
like not injured at all.
That was another thing too. So like I thought I think it was the third movie when he fell off the top of the roof after Winston shot him. Was it the first, second?
That was the third one.
Third one. When he fell off that roof, I was like, oh man, they're really stretching his like that was a stretch.
So when he fell off the roof, it was a stretch. And then when he fell down the steps in that fucking Benny Hinn movie moment.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
Benny Hill.
So he shoots everybody, gets to the very top, and then the boss level guy kicks him back down.
And he falls all
the way back down to the bottom and has to fight his way back up with Donnie Yen.
I want Matt or one of you editor guys to take that sequence someday. And just put and speed it up, and place it with the Benny Hill music.
But you know, like in John Wick 3, when he falls off the top of the Continental after getting shot by Winston, like he hits certain things on the way down that kind of breaks his fall. But by the time he gets to the bottom, like he's almost dead.
It's ridiculous.
And Laurence Fishburne's homeless army has to basically like save his ass. In this movie, that fall type thing happens multiple times.
Yeah.
And he just gets up and brushes off. Like he's basically indestructible up until the very end.
Until the plot needs him to be destructible. It's all just plot convenience stuff. And I was like, you know, in the other movies, when he got injured, he would have to go seek help. He would have to have friends that would be able to, you know, keep him undercover. In the first movie, he had Willem Dafoe protecting him, and then he had that doctor who was stitching him up.
You know what I really thought was good?
What's that?
I had no idea. I had no idea that blind people could fight so well.
And well,
he was amazing. He was so good. It was like he was the best fighter. He was so good. The best fighter in the movie. It's like it was just. I was so amazed at how a blind person could overcome his disability.
He was
such an amazing fighter.
What's his name in freaking what's that movie?
They really fucking played on that.
Rogue One. What's that movie? Rogue One.
Chirrut.
Yeah, something like that.
I love that actor. Don't get me wrong.
Donnie Yen's awesome.
He's awesome.
Donnie Yen's cool.
Awesome.
But
come on,
even
already.
When he grabbed the gun and he would just like blah, 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 and just aimlessly shoot at a bunch of people. Because in the beginning of the movie, he had these little like doorbell things that would let him know where people were. But then they only used those once. And then the rest of the movie, he was just picking people off with headshots. I'm like,
it was like, is he
blind
Daredevil?
or not?
Is he Daredevil?
Yeah. I mean, ding dong. Oh, he's over there now.
I mean, there was also that scene where he had to have a showdown with Hiroyuki Sanada's character. And I was like, you could have just let him go. Like, you didn't have to fight him. Like, you were there for John Wick. So, like, what was the point of that? Because, like, they were supposed to be, like, old friends, right?
Yeah, I don't. Well, he had the leverage over him, right? Because it was his daughter.
And then his daughter goes to John Wick, and and she's like, you have to either you kill him or I will. And John Wick's just like, yeah. And then, like, by the end of the movie, you're like, wait, what happened to that plot line?
Doesn't matter.
Danny, feel free to pull the trigger on Mr. Quaid. He doesn't want to be here. He can go fuck off. All right.
I don't know what
fucking
his deal
clown.
is. He's just still really mad at us because we didn't like the movie.
He thinks he's edgy because he's calling me the bearded fat guy.
Yeah,
bro, I call myself worse shit than that every day. Fuck you.
I'm surprised that as many people have said that they like this movie.
Dude,
like
if Jude were here, it would be another level of salt.
Oh,
she
God.
hated this movie.
Yeah. I was just disappointed because I loved the first three and I felt like they stretched you a little bit on the disbelief thing, but they kept it in the realm of realism, and you could go along for the ride. This one, they just, like I said, they just jumped the shark, and I couldn't get on board because I'm like, the fight scenes were not as clean as the old movies. The bad guys were not as cool as the old movies.
And
like,
you know what else was weird? It was the fight scenes that were good were just recycled.
Yeah,
it was the same pop move.
I mean, in the first movie, they would actually count how many times they shot a gun and make sure that like it would line up with like the reload.
Yeah, that opening scene when he gets when those assassins come to his house after they kill his dog and they come back and they try to kill him. Like the magazines add up, and this is just unlimited ammo, God mode, like video game status. And I just, to me, I held the Wick movies at a higher standard.
Yeah.
They were the standard that I held every other action movie to. And now I feel like this fourth one,
it's not meeting its own expectations.
This fourth one just took it down a notch and was like, well, we just need to end the story and get John Wick out of the picture and move on to this TV show. And I'm like, that was a really unsatisfying ending for me. And I think that might be why I'm so salty about it. Because if they're gonna end this franchise with, as far as like John Wick, the character goes, I wanted them to really keep it at that level.
So big spoiler, is that at the end of the movie, it looks like John Wick is dead.
Yeah.
You guys actually think he's dead, or
honestly,
is this just like an open-ended thing?
I kind of don't care. I kind of don't care. I don't want him to be dead, but I kind of don't care.
I don't know. Keanu Reeves is pushing 60.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer he's gonna be able to do that.
I didn't feel like most of the scenes actually had him in it anyway.
You think it was all stunt?
I saw a lot of stunt people in this movie, and that was because it wasn't edited that great.
Do you think it really? Because he did a lot of his own moves.
I'm not saying he doesn't do his own stuff. I'm saying there was a lot of stuff with stunt people intercut into this.
Mm-hmm. There was a couple scenes, and again, I think this might be because I could see it on a freaking 85-inch or 85-foot screen, but there's a couple scenes where I could see the padding on the stunt guys that were getting shot. Like they had these like skin tight suits, and then you'd be able to see underneath that they had a bunch of padding and squibs and stuff like that. Yeah. And it just the quality, the
production value wasn't as good.
Yeah.
And they were trying to make up for it in all these elaborate set pieces. If that's all this movie was, it was set piece action scene, 3 lines of him going, yeah.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I don't want to. I don't really care if Keanu has like a whole big bunch of lines, because Keanu in the old movies he didn't say much either, and that's fine.
But he was like really. It was really next level.
What'd you think about the main bad guy? That's that guy who played It from the Stephen King movies. What's his name?
Peter Skarsgård.
No, is it Skarsgård?
The main bad guy, the Marquis.
Yeah, the Marquis. It is a Skarsgård. Yeah, I just don't remember
because his Alexander Skarsgård is the guy from True Northman, right? I felt like
he was having fun with the role.
I liked the way he looked.
It was fine,
but I thought the build up to the ending, I really thought him and John Wick were going to actually go hand in hand and fight, and I was really looking forward to that, because like when they were sitting down at the table and they're like, "I challenge you to a duel" or whatever. I thought they were going to go like, okay, sunrise, swords, this and that. And it was going to be like the ending battle scene for him fighting against this one guy. And it was just it was him and Donnie Yen playing a trick on him. And that was really disappointing as well. I was so disappointed with this movie, man. My expectations were super high and I just got really let down. And I know I'm not going to be popular about this. And there's a lot of people who, I liked it. It's a good movie. It's like, fine, man, enjoy it. Like it. Go watch it again. That's great. I'm good. I'm not going to. I'll go back and watch 2 and 3.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things that has helped this franchise is that the first John Wick movie is so rewatchable. Like you can go back, watch that movie 100 times. It's still as good the 100th time as it was on the first time. I feel like movies like John Wick 4, even though I really liked it, I found it fun. There's not a lot of rewatchability to it. Like it's almost 3 hours long. Yep. And once you've seen those action scenes like 1 or 2 times, you're going to just start being bored with them, because like it's about the spectacle. And that's one of the problems with slaction movies that we found is basically like, once you're past the initial, like, oh, wow, that was really cool. There's nothing to it to basically hook you in on rewatches.
Yeah. And I want to mention Nick Clark in the comments that the movie promised, oh, God, I can't freaking read. This movie's promise was that he would take down the high table. I was disappointed that they didn't fulfill that or do something better. I totally agree. The high table still is out there. This Skarsgård guy, the French dude that he had to fight, was just like a minion of the high table. So I didn't feel like anything was accomplished at the end of the movie either. The people that he was trying to get his ring back from and that he was trying to gain his freedom from, they're still there. The society, the Continentals, the high table, nothing's changed. So the end of the movie gave you nothing except for just a bunch of actions.
Can we talk about Lance Reddick for a second?
Sure. Lance Reddick.
Yeah. Chiron, Winston's
the valet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Lance. He recently passed away. Yeah. I was surprised that he died. I didn't think he was going to die.
I think everybody was surprised. Oh, you mean are you
in the movie? Yeah.
Yeah, I was not happy about that.
I wasn't either. That was kind of
he could have been if they're expanding this universe, they're going out into television and stuff, streaming shows. He could have been like, they could have made a whole show about him.
Yeah, but they can't now.
No, they can't because he's dead.
But I was just like going in with the knowledge that this will probably be the last movie that I see him in, and then him getting shot in the chest. I was kind of like, oh,
good.
I didn't like that. That was pretty harsh.
Well, but have you guys heard that like because this movie's doing so well at the box office that they're considering bringing Keanu back for a 5th one?
No, sure, why not?
You see, they killed him. They've killed this.
Well, we never saw him dead.
Yeah, we saw him die on the steps. He told Winston what he wanted on his tombstone and to take him home because he knew he was going to go down, sit down, and die. It was completely implied, and I don't have any problem. We literally saw his dead corpse on the top of the steps, and that's fine.
He said his wife's name, and then he keels over.
He said heaven.
No, Helen.
Or Helen or
Her
okay,
name.
well, whatever.
Yeah.
But and it's a good ending. It was a fine ending for what his character was.
For Wick, yeah.
I don't want him to come back. That's too comic book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't watch Wick movies because I want a comic book movie. It was just something different about these movies that were fun and gritty and original and cool. You know what I'm saying? And now that they've done the Fast and Furious approach and turned them into fucking comic book movies, I've lost a lot of interest in my enthusiasm for this franchise now.
I think if they bring
this movie ruined this franchise for me.
Really?
Yeah, a lot.
Wow.
So
I think if they bring it to TV and they lower the budget, I think we'll get back to what we like about John Wick.
We'll just get the Kung Fu Fight of the Week. I got
right.
Warrior for that.
Warrior's a better show. It's better written.
What did you guys think of the reveal that Winston is John Wick's dad, real dad?
Do you really think he meant that?
I do. Yeah. I think that was like the big reveal at the end, and it explains why Winston's always like treated John Wick was so favorably.
That's cool. Whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a little too late, maybe.
Yeah.
I think they probably should have revealed that earlier on in the movie, and then that would have given John Wick more of a reason to maybe rescue him or something. Like maybe that the main villain guy, like gets Winston and he's like, I'm gonna kill him if you don't do X, Y, and Z. That'll give him motivation.
I'm really kind of annoyed that they killed him because him and the guy that makes these movies, they said as long as people want these movies, we'll keep making them.
Well, I thought you said you didn't want him anymore.
But I don't want a John Wick movie without John Wick in it. But I also, now that he's dead, I don't want him to come back to life because then it's just bullshit. People don't come back to life in this world. You get shot in the chest, you get shot in the head, and you fall off a 30-story building and you die. That's it.
Well, in the third movie, when he fell off that building, they had to like scoop him up off the pavement and take him down there and heal him up for however long it was. Like they went too cartoony with this one.
It's way too cartoony.
That scene in the road going around that arch,
the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah, that whole scene where the traffic just keeps going around in circles around them.
Been cut out of the movie.
There was literally scenes where like a car would hit him, and then the next clip is him standing up, and there's no driver in the car. There's nobody like you were talking about the editing and the care that goes into these movies just wasn't there. There was mistakes and things that I was watching along the way. And I'm like, oh, there's no driver in that car anymore. I guess he got out and ran away. Yeah. Why is the traffic still going when there's like 45 people on the road dead with their heads blown off? Like there's just, it took the believability away from it for me.
We're not getting thumbs up today. Nobody likes what we're saying.
No,
fuck you guys.
But that is an immersion breaking thing when the traffic around the Arc de Triomphe still going on despite this huge shootout that's happening. When people in the nightclub are still dancing, despite people literally getting like limbs chopped off, like right next to them. There was a lot of stuff in this movie that just, it looked cool, but like it didn't make any sense. It was so far outside the scope of the first movie, which set everything up so brilliantly. Like there was a realism to the first John Wick.
Yeah.
And that realism has slowly been stripped away in favor of this like mythology building stuff, where it's like this criminal organization and these assassins just operate with impunity and no one seems to care about it.
We lost a sub.
Did we?
Yeah. Quaid told us to fuck off. John Wick should stay dead. It was a perfect ending.
Quaid, I don't think Quaid's a member anyway.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's okay. He was upset with us because he called us weak. We're weak men.
Who?
Yes, we're soy boys.
Soy boys because we didn't like John Wick 4. Shut the fuck up. I love the first 3 movies. They're awesome. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't want to just repeating myself, but it just wasn't for me. I did not have a great time with this movie.
It became a parody of itself.
It did. I feel like it really did. I was bummed out.
It's sad.
What would you give it for a star rating?
2 maybe.
Really?
Yeah, 2.5 if I stretch it.
Let me give the first one 5, right?
I don't think I've given.
Give it 4.
I think these are all 4.5.
4.5, 5.
And this one's a steep decline. Steep.
It's a bummer.
It really sucks. I'm really upset about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out.
I went into this movie really excited. It's like, yes, I'm gonna get another John Wick movie, and it's an hour longer than the other ones, and it's gonna be awesome. And it just wasn't, man. It just became a victim of its own whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
That's good. It's all right. Next subject for today. Comment below. I see everybody's chatting it up, like what they thought of. If you like it, man, cool, great. Go support it.
Yeah,
I'm not telling
if
you not to go see it.
for sure.
It wasn't for me. If you yeah, things escalated quickly with that guy. Yeah, for sure, Danny. Thanks for being there, Danny. I would encourage you to go watch it. If you want to go watch it, if you like John Wick, go check it out.
I think I liked it more than you guys did. I'd give it a solid 3 stars, and I would recommend people go check it out, especially if they like the previous John Wick movies. It was not the best entry in the series. I would agree with that. But like, it was a fun movie. I did have fun watching it, unlike Jude, who hated life.
That's the thing, though. I did not have fun watching this movie.
I was just rolling my eyes the whole time.
I was literally, I was like, what is happening the whole time? This doesn't feel.
I think it was it was the motivation for John Wick. Like, we've always been attached to like, oh, they killed my dog, I'm gonna go get revenge. Like, like this one, I didn't know what he was doing.
It's like, how many times is that dog gonna bite somebody in the nuts in the movie?
Well, also,
come on.
There's a scene where that dog got hit by a car and it just got up,
and walked away.
It's a strong ass CGI dog, dude. Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for John Wick. That's enough bashing. We've lost enough subs off of that alone. Salt. Yeah, that's told
what
you.
We do, guys.
I told
that's
you
what we do.
We were gonna earn our name this week. We are not gonna shill for anything, even if we love the franchise. We're not gonna tell you something.
Like, if we like it, we'll tell you. If we don't, we're gonna.
This is the name of the game, guys. That's who we are. So if you don't like it, too bad. The next thing I want to talk about is a very interesting topic. Quentin Tarantino's 10th and what? Did you pull something different up?
Yeah.
Oh, Butt Boy. Oh, okay. Let's ask Kadish. Let's ask Kadish about Butt Boy. What is that about?
All right. So
I'm just gonna go.
I don't even know. I don't know. I was counting on Jude to bring the humor with this one because she talks about things so.
What are you saying? I'm not funny?
You're not funny at all.
Not really.
You have no funny bone at all. What is Butt Boy, and why did Jude make you watch it?
All right. So basically, Conspiracy Tom, our favorite fill-in guy or stunt cock, he basically was listening to an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast where Jamie recommended this movie. And so he started doing some research into it, and there are a lot of good reviews for it online. And long story short, this movie is about a man who starts shoving people up his butt and the police officer who is obsessed with stopping him.
What? Is he giant?
No.
Does he shrink him down somehow?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
So Conspiracy Tom texts Jude, and he's like, I want to do a bad movie night, and I want to watch this movie called Butt Boy about a guy who shoves people up his ass. And Jude was like, I'm in. And so if she's in, I have to be in as well. And so like we went up to Conspiracy Tom's place and watched this movie, and I didn't know what to expect, but apparently this movie was based off of this comedy troupe who came up with this premise, and they thought it was a funny premise. And so they made a very serious movie about this guy who shoves people up his ass, and it's like a crime film. Basically, this guy like kidnaps babies and children and shoves them up his ass, and they go missing. And so like there's this cop in there who has to like track him down, but it handles the subject matter super seriously. Like they never make it a joke. And the cop who is pursuing this Butt Boy guy does a really bad Robert De Niro impression the entire time he's on screen. So like there are certain like aspects to this movie that are jokey, but at the same time like they play it super serious. And basically Butt Boy, he's played by the writer and director of the movie, and he is this guy who's in this like terrible marriage. It's like a loveless marriage. They got married when he knocked her up very young. He's in this soul-sucking job. He hates his life, basically. And one day he goes in for his first prostate exam, you know, and when the
I don't know if I could keep. Where is this going, dude?
Let me just set the stage for you. So
I don't know if I want.
So
you to. When we lost, we're like halfway. We're at 15 people now.
So when the doctor, you know, puts his finger up the butt, the guy like really gets into it. And so like when he gets home, like he has sex with his wife and he tries to get her to put a finger up his butt, and his wife's just not into it. So he starts putting other stuff up his butt, and the more stuff he puts in his butt, the more powerful he becomes. And it turns out his butt is a portal to an alternate butt dimension where
Stop.
it shrinks stuff down
Just stop.
when it goes in there, and it just stays up in there, and he slowly digests it over time, like reverse digestion. And this cop who's like tracking down all these crimes that this guy's committing puts it together, and he tries to convince his superiors that this guy is like a real danger. This movie, it's so ridiculous, but at the same time, it's like really tense and like well done.
Stop.
Stop.
No, seriously, this movie, despite the premise, is actually like kind of good.
No, I'm
not
good.
good.
No, see,
No.
this right here, John Wick sucks. Go see Butt Boy instead. That's not what I want the
No,
message of this
not
live
at
stream
all.
to be at all.
No.
Don't go watch John Wick instead.
Well, you guys haven't even seen this movie.
I don't want to.
We're not going to.
I'm not gonna watch
and
it.
I did not want to watch it either, but like it's not graphic. Like you don't really see like much happen. A lot of the butt stuffing stuff happens off screen, but there's this movie's so ridiculous, but somehow it makes the premise work. And like everyone who sees this movie is just like, yeah, it wasn't a bad movie.
No, I'm good. I'll pass. Hard pass.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, it's not him.
No, it's him.
It's Jude and
Tom.
And Tom. Yeah, trust me, left to my own devices, I would not have watched this movie, but I was forced to by Jude and Tom.
What?
We need to fire Tom.
He's not a stunt cock anymore.
We got to find a new stunt cock.
Oh man, pass on the ass movie. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Pass on the ass movie. Go watch.
No, it's free on Tubi.
I'm not gonna watch
You guys
it.
can go on
I'm
Tubi. You
not
can watch this thing.
It's on Tubi, guys.
Oh God,
I'll tell you right there.
it's free.
That high class.
Jamie from the Joe Rogan podcast
Listen,
was trying to convince Joe Rogan to watch this. He had the same
they
reaction
were
as you
both
guys
probably on acid when they watched this movie. Probably on mushrooms or something.
Oh man, I'm good.
did. Do you have any questions about the
Nope,
No.
not a single one. Please let me change the subject to Quentin Tarantino. Oh,
Hey, we have a
hold on, we got a
super
super chat. Hold on, $2 from JT. So, Butt Boy is Ant-Man 3.
Okay, that would make more sense.
It's probably
Yeah.
better than Ant-Man 3, actually.
I didn't
I
watch
haven't
Ant-Man
watched
3.
it.
But yeah, it's the quantum butt realm. Basically, people get shrunk the minute they enter his anus.
If this was a porn, it would be better.
I think I'm good.
It sounds like
I mean,
premise
like
for a porn.
it sounds like the premise for a gay porn, yeah. But it's not. It's actually not porny at all. It's actually like a very tense kind of like crime story.
I feel like we need another person.
I
in this
need
room.
I need a cleanse.
I need a drink.
I need
Yeah, it's time for
If Jude were actually here, it'd be much more entertaining.
it's time for I need to after that
yeah,
conversation
hook me up. Too.
hook you up. All right, cool. Let's talk about Quentin Tarantino.
What is there to talk about him?
He's making his last. Do you really think it's his last movie? His
Yes.
last and 10th movie called The Movie Critic. He's making a movie about us, man.
We're not movie critics.
I know we're not. But
We can't even get 200 5-star reviews on Apple iTunes to become a movie critic.
Well, I don't want to be part of that club. Those people are weird. Did he do a Vortex? I'm not answering that question.
What?
I don't know. So The Movie Critic. You guys, we all like Quentin Tarantino movies, right?
For the most part,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have one that you don't like?
I don't know. I'd have to go through. them.
I'm not a big fan of Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
I feel like it's Tarantino's weakest film, but like I
What?
don't think there's such a thing as a bad Tarantino film.
No.
They're Tarantino movies. They are what they are.
Yeah.
You know,
They're
you know what
very
I'm saying?
unique to him.
They're completely judged on the Tarantino scale, not a 5-star review, but or a 5-star scale, just the Q scale,
Yeah.
or the T scale, the Tarantino scale.
Yeah, for sure. You have to rate them on their own thing. Like, where does it
Yeah.
stack up with the other Tarantino movies?
Right.
I got you.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that the premise of this final film, and I do think it's going to be his final film, is based around a film critic from the 60s and 70s who was very influential. Her name was Pauline Kael.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, she goes to work for like a movie studio, and she has like a great deal of influence on the movies that are made. But before the internet and like the free flow of information, film critics wielded a lot of power. Like if they didn't like a movie, they could sink it because people would take their recommendations and not go. So a 1970s era film based around a film critic kind of shows the film critic at the height of their power, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So, are you familiar with this person? Have you heard of them before?
Oh yeah, Pauline Kael. She's one of the most famous movie critics like ever.
So, do you think he's just going to write like a revenge porn movie about trying to kill her?
Why would he want to kill her. I think she's going to be the main character.
She's going to be the one who's killing people. Like, I mean,
there's no death involved in this movie.
Oh no, there's going to be death. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. People are going to get slaughtered. Who's going to kill who? I just want to know. I feel like, is she going to go off there and be like, "You made a bad movie"?
I feel like Tarantino movies you can't even really discuss until they're out.
Yeah,
you don't really know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? It's going to be
like a box of chocolates.
Well, I think other than Jackie Brown, this is like going to be his only other female-led movie. But getting back to your question, so like Tarantino has always been very adamant that like as directors get older, they get shittier.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he doesn't want to be in a situation where he's outstayed his welcome and he's making bad movies. Like he really cares about his filmography. So he wants to make sure that every movie he makes is as good as it can possibly be. And he always said, either I hit 60 or I do 10 movies. And at that point, I'm done. He's probably going to do maybe some TV. I know he's going to write books. He does a podcast. But in terms of like filmmaking, after the 10th movie, he's done. And he's also turning 60. So he's hitting both those milestones, I think.
See, this is my gut tells me. Anthony, what's up, dude? Shout out to Anthony. He's a member and also one of our biggest supporters. Back in the early 70s, Vincent Price played an actor who murdered all the theater critics. I feel like we might be going in that direction with this movie. I really feel like he's going to either take a shot at movie critics because I don't know, he doesn't like movie critics or something like that. He's going to be like, well, you're going to criticize the movie and then the guys are going to come after you or something. I don't know. That's what my gut says, but I could be completely wrong. I could be off base.
I think you are completely wrong.
I might be.
You're not very good at predicting the future, Alex.
No.
But what is interesting is that because this is Tarantino's final film, you're going to see every major celebrity in Hollywood lining up to get in it somehow.
Oh yeah, and it'll be a Titanic boy,
Leo DiCaprio,
yeah, Kurt Russell, and he'll bring his homies in. They'll all be on his last.
Oh yeah, well it's gonna be who else is gonna be in there?
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson's got to be in there, right? Although he wasn't in. There was a movie that he wasn't in. I think it might have been Inglourious Basterds, but he only did like a voiceover, like a narration thing. He wasn't actually in the movie. But he's always involved somehow. I don't know. I'm really curious, man. I love Quentin Tarantino movies. I love them all from various degrees. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was probably my least favorite.
Really?
But,
I really enjoyed that movie.
I mean, it was good. I'm not saying it was bad. I enjoyed it, but it was my least favorite of the ones that he's made.
What is your all-time favorite Tarantino?
It's Inglourious Basterds. The one that you don't like.
Mine's Kill Bill.
Kill Bill?
Yeah.
I
think mine would have to be Hateful Eight. I really like Hateful Eight.
You love that slow, methodic mystery.
Yeah, it's basically an Agatha Christie movie. Made by Tarantino.
I'm gonna read this chat from Jude. She had to go home because she wasn't feeling well. Just want to pop in and say that John Wick could have been an hour shorter if someone had tossed a toaster at him at any point during the German dance waterfall scene. Not wrong.
It's very artistic.
Not wrong.
The way he's going in and out of the water to punch the guy.
Oh yeah,
very, very cool camera work.
Yeah, it was great. It looked cool.
It's very artistic. It's very artistic.
Yeah, I mean, John Wick 4 looked amazing. It had beautiful cinematography.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I'm gonna go find a pyramid and stick my dinner table right in the middle of it, around some pillars, make it very dramatic. When my servant brings my steak in.
Yeah, because it's really fun hanging out in the desert.
Yeah, just by himself outside.
Or the giant museum wall piece with the chair and the couch. Sit in front of it.
Or the church that's like 17 stories tall, and he walks in and he lights one candle and then leaves.
And
very dramatic.
No police officers have a problem with a shooting duel in the middle of this like ancient church in the middle of the city.
It's fine.
Don't
worry about it.
The table owns everything.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's the thing too. It's the whole city is owned by one person.
You see,
spit it out.
I don't know if I want to talk about John Wick anymore.
I don't really want to either.
But I'm just really quickly, and you can cut this into it or whatever.
We're live. We can't cut shit.
I know, but part of the thing I liked about the first movie was that you felt like there were like this underground society, and that slowly got fleshed out over the next movies. This movie felt like the whole world is an underground crime syndicate.
Yeah, there's
no real people like you and me out there. You know what I mean? And it all got too big, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And the realism, what little of it there ever was, just went completely out the window.
Yeah,
but that's.
I think Farnsworth is right here. Wick has run its course.
Yeah, it has.
I agree.
I think it has.
The next subject on our list, Jonathan Majors is in some major. What? Are we not coordinated today? What are you putting up there? Hold on, let me see. Oh,
Right,
Shazam 2. Oh, Shazam 2 flopped because of James Gunn.
Oh, we're talking about this?
I guess, yeah.
Shazam 2 flopped because Shazam sucks.
Yeah, that could be it too. I know
There's
some people like
no
it.
interest in this movie. There was no interest really in the last one, was
It
there?
was barely. I remember people, oh, I liked it. It was okay. And then mostly people saw it because it's part of the DC.
I already talked about this movie on Saturday. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not interested. I don't give a shit.
Either. I'm not interested in the movie. I like Zachary Levi, but I just don't really care about Shazam. And
so did neither of you guys see the movie?
No, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care.
Dude, I had to go to the fucking Wick at 2 a.m. last night. I'm certainly not gonna go watch Shazam.
So Jude and I went and saw it, and it was actually a very fun movie. Like, I was surprised at how good it was.
The first one was fun too.
But boy, okay.
Another movie you haven't seen.
I have no faith in what you think is good.
Well, you even admitted it in your
Taste.
tweet. You were like, I like Shazam too, but I also you mentioned 2 other movies that sucked, and people were like, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you're the worst.
I said I like Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's what it was. Thor: Love and Thunder was trash too.
Yeah, but so Shazam 2 was like the epitome of a dumb but fun movie. Like, it was a stupid movie, but it was enjoyable. And I think that number one, Warner's didn't market it very well. But number 2, because James Gunn came out and said we're rebooting everything, everyone was convinced, it's like, what's the point? I'll just wait until video because like this movie in the larger scheme of things doesn't matter. And what's crazy is like there are 2 post-credit scenes that set up the fact that like they had plans to do other stuff in the DCEU, and now those things are like completely gone.
Speaking of like credit scenes and Shazam and stuff, there's some back and forth going on, on Twitter about a scene in the first movie Shazam where they're all sitting on the thrones and there's an empty one, and it's supposed to be a setup for Black Adam. And I guess the people who made the movie are like, we never filmed that. That wasn't in the movie.
No, they filmed it, but they
took it out.
They said it was one of the first things they cut, but it was in the movie.
I saw it in the movie. I remember watching them sit down and talk about, oh, we're sitting on these cool thrones, and then one of the kids was like, well, what's that empty one for? And then they all looked at it, and it zooms in on it, and it's got the lightning bolt on it.
They were talking about the sequel.
Yeah.
So, like, you said you didn't see the sequel.
I didn't see the sequel. I saw the first one. That scene was in the first one.
Well, no, there were other like throne scenes in the sequel, and Adam Sandberg, who directed the movie, has come out and said people are saying that they saw this scene in the second one, in the second movie, but we cut it out. It was not in that movie.
But you saw it.
Yeah. Like it was totally in the movie, and I'm not alone. Like tons of people have seen this, and people are saying like, oh, it's the Mandela effect. You know, like people saw it in the first one, so they think it's in the second one. I'm like, no, we were in the theater. We saw them do that throne scene.
I love the Mandela effect theory. It's so fun. And like you'll watch like old commercials from the 90s and be like, remember this commercial? And I'm like, yeah, I do remember that commercial. And they're like, it never existed. And I'm like, what? I've seen it. I've seen it. Like the Shazam movie with Sinbad. I'm like, I know I saw that commercial. Sinbad was Shazam.
We had the same discussion at work last week.
Did you really? What kind of things were they talking about?
The Sinbad thing.
The Sinbad thing, yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
There's like a weird temporal anomaly.
I was all like, Shaq is Shazam, or Shaq is Kazam.
Kazam,
right?
yeah.
And then they're no, it's Sinbad. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. It was like, it was weird.
Shaq was Steel. Does that movie exist? Did I make that up on my own?
No, that movie exists.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
But yeah, I feel really bad for Zachary Levi because he was good in this movie. This is like his franchise.
Yeah, it's dead.
And it's just been mishandled from the beginning, I think. Like the first movie was, very much kind of like almost a horror movie. It was very strange. And in this movie, in the trailers, you see Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren, and you're just like, these are the bad guys.
Yeah.
And when you're watching the movie, they actually they work. They actually work pretty well. And so like I feel like there's just a lot of stuff in this movie that wasn't presented to the public good enough, I think, because it's a fun enough movie to spend hour and a half of your day watching.
Just certain movies that I have no desire to go spend theater money on, and DC Cape movies are one of them.
When everyone knew this movie was in trouble, and Warner Brothers probably had internal polling or something like that told them this, is when they put out TV spots showing Wonder Woman's cameo, because that was supposed to be like a big surprise moment in the movie.
Oh, they're like, please come to the theater, please.
Yeah, like as soon as they put Gal Gadot and ruined her appearance in this movie.
How much was she in the movie?
She was actually, so she showed up at the very end, and she was on screen for like a pretty decent amount of time. But the fact that they ruined that moment for like a commercial spot just shows how desperate Warner Brothers was to try to get some interest in this movie, because I don't think there was a lot of buzz about it going into it.
Did you guys hear about the controversy with Zachary Levi and Dwayne Johnson? Like, so Zach, did you hear about that? So
a little bit.
There's an article I just pulled up real quick. It said, aside from the disastrous box office result, the film is also wrapped in controversies. Days after Shazam was released, an article was published by The Wrap claiming that Dwayne Johnson rejected a post-credit scene featuring Zachary Levi in Black Adam. And I saw an interview with Zachary Levi when somebody was like, have you seen Black Adam yet? And he's like, no, not going to watch it. I have no desire to see it. Not going to do it. And I'm like, and at that time, these are two DC movies that are supposed to be like, you know, hand in hand, and Black Adam has a really close tie with Shazam. So you'd think they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see it. I can't wait. You know, we'll look forward to working with them, whatever. Zachary Levi's like, no. Didn't bother seeing it.
Yeah, I know that in the comics, like Black Adam is Captain Marvel or Shazam's like primary like antagonist.
Yeah.
But when The Rock took over the role, he wanted to distance himself from Shazam and make it so that Superman and Shazam were kind of like the center of the DC universe, and Black Adam, Superman and Black Adam were the center of the DC universe. And Black Adam would be kind of Superman's nemesis, because on a power level, like they're very similar. And I think that was just The Rock's ego.
Yeah,
like he really should have been like the Shazam villain.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't see Zachary Levi fighting
Dwayne has an ego. That is 100%.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But there was actually a big tie-in to the Peacemaker TV show in Shazam 2. And they were kind of setting up a Justice Society of America type thing. And it just like, it was an end credit scene, and it just fell so flat, because you just know, like, none of this stuff matters. None of this stuff is actually happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you're going to try and blame any one person, James Gunn announcing a brand new DC universe right before these movies come out, because the same thing's going to happen to Aquaman.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, who cares about Aquaman now?
I think their silly Flash movie is going to underperform as well.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's been praising the crap out of that. Like, this is so good.
He has to.
Well, Tom Cruise doesn't.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise said it was like one of the best movies you've ever seen.
Tom Cruise is weird.
you were we saw the trailer for it in the theater last night, and you were like, Keaton's going to be in it for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's
probably.
it. We're going to have 3 minutes of Keaton. And
I just see nothing but gimmicks.
They based the entire trailer off of Keaton's Batman in last night's movie theater when we went. And I was like, they leaned real heavily on that.
Have you guys ever read the Flashpoint comic?
I watched the animated one, which was amazing. The animated cartoon of a Flashpoint was freaking cool.
I have a hard time talking about DC movies because I'm just not their target. I didn't read a lot of DC comics, and outside the big three, which they should be focusing on, I don't really care. And I hate to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up watching Batman and Justice League and Super Friends is what I mean, and stuff like that. And these movies just aren't it.
Well, what's also crazy is like they got this Blue Beetle movie set to come out this year.
Zero interest.
But nobody knows who that is.
Blue Beetle?
And there's been like zero like marketing for it.
Who greenlit that? Like a Blue Beetle movie. Like, I know there's probably a handful of people out there who are like, oh, I love Blue Beetle.
Well, look at all this shit Gunn announced.
They're all
DC
these like
universe.
super weird,
all
obscure
bullshit that nobody's ever heard of, and nobody's gonna pay to go watch.
Still do not understand why DC doesn't just hunker down and do what they do and just let one-off movies like Joker, the Batman, just have one-off cool, artistic, weird DC dark movies that are like the exact opposite of Marvel. Like, why? They keep doing it and they make a lot of money. Batman made a shit ton of money. The Joker made a shit ton of money. The second one's probably gonna make just as much. Like, why don't they see the flags are right there in front of you? That's how we make our thing. That's what DC does best. Not this freaking shared universe nonsense with a bunch of obscure characters that nobody's ever heard of. I just don't get it. I don't get what their idea is. Is it more profitable to have a cinematic universe than have a handful of billion-dollar one-offs?
guess. You know?
Well, if you think about the concept of the cinematic universe, it's basically a perpetual motion machine to get people to actually show up to all the movies that you release. So having a shared universe where you have multiple movie releases a year is the thing that actually will compel people to go to the theater because they want to, continue like the larger storyline.
Hey, we got a $1.99 super chat from The Grid.
Tom
Welcome,
Cruise
sir.
rules.
Tom Cruise rules. You know what? Tom Cruise does rule. Absolutely can't deny it.
Good at making movies.
But man, he's
a little weird.
He's a little weird.
He's a little weird.
You can't deny his weirdness.
But
But
really,
I do like his movies.
Yeah, I do
I
too.
can't.
Are you guys excited about the next Mission Impossible?
Absolutely.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I just saw that one stunt that he did, and I'm like, I'll watch it.
Man, that dude jumped off that cliff like 18 times that day.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I can't believe they let him do that.
He's insane.
Have you heard the story that Matt Damon tells about Tom Cruise and doing the stunts and stuff? I think it was for the movie that he was like hanging off the side of that building in Dubai. He's like, so I had this idea for the stunt that I wanted to do. And he's like, but my safety guy told me I couldn't do it. So
I did it.
I went and got another safety guy. And then we did the stunt. Tom Cruise just doesn't give a crap.
Likes to make it look real.
Yeah, I mean, he's dedicated to his craft. I'll give it to him. I watched the beginning of Top Gun Maverick the other day just to get like, I was flipping through the channels and I saw Top Gun Maverick was free on Prime or something. I was like, oh, cool. So I just watched that opening scene where he's flying that jet to the super high speed. Was it Mach 10 or whatever? It was a fun scene. It was cool.
Yeah. Hey, as it's on the screen right now, we do have YouTube memberships now. Only $1.99 for the lowest tier. Go ahead and hit those things and get your special emojis and badges and stuff. They're a lot of fun. And hit that button. Yeah. What did you just do that?
Sorry. Yeah, my bad. We're clicking buttons. My bad.
Who's clicking here?
I did it by accident. He did save Hollywood. He did. Spielberg.
I listen. I'm not denying Cruise's awesomeness. He's awesome. He makes freaking great movies.
Yeah.
Maverick was a generational accomplishment. It was a great movie. Sobbed like a baby. And I might go watch it again tonight.
You know how awesome Tom Cruise is?
How awesome.
He has his own religion.
Yeah.
That's what makes him a little weird.
That's
well, I mean, the Church of Scientology is his religion. He is the leader of that church.
Is he officially the leader?
Yeah.
I always thought he was just like the spokesperson.
He is now the head.
Did they dub him? They were like,
the head Xenu or whatever.
You are now Lord Xenu.
Go hold on to those rod things.
I wonder if they have like multicolored robes with hoods on them that they wear.
I don't know. That would be cool though.
I'm amazed that he's able to keep that side of his life so under wraps.
Well, everybody knows about it.
Everybody knows, but
they just ignore it.
But you don't see paparazzi going out there finding freaking Cruise in underwear with a white robe, like with 17 bitches behind him. Like it's just it's weird that he can get away with that level of.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Scientology to even talk about it.
I'm just making things up. I don't know either.
And the Leah Remini.
She's pretty hardcore against everything.
Oh yeah,
she came out hard during Maverick when it was like hot and everybody was talking about it.
Scientology almost destroyed her.
Yeah, I'm not blaming her, and I tend to believe everything that she pretty much says is probably true. But I'm just like, I just don't know how. What's up?
JT Gunn with the one gifted sub. Thank you,
cool,
sir. That was awesome.
Right on. That'll make up for the one that we lost. So
yeah.
I don't think we lost anything.
No, that guy was real hard on us. He was real mad at us for not liking that show.
He called me a fat bearded guy.
Whoa! He called us soft because we didn't like John Wick 4. Go home.
It's like I have higher standards.
Go away now to take it from our boy. Critical Drinker.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you didn't like John Wick 4 because that seems like your type of movie, just like all eye candy, all spectacle.
No. It was too much. It was not a Wick movie.
Oh, Foxhound. I believe Foxhound is a new member of our Discord as well.
Yeah.
I recognize that name. Welcome, sir. Thank you for being on Discord. Did he join you for watch party?
He popped in, popped out.
Oh, okay.
Popped in, popped out. I think he might have been having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah.
We'll walk you through it next time.
Walk you through it. Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. All right. Speaking of comic books, then this might be a little touchy, but
What are we doing?
I'm not I don't know. Jonathan Majors.
I don't know what we're talking about today.
Majors. So have you heard about this? So he's been accused and arrested for assault and harassment. And apparently, as soon as the bell has been rung,
can you tell us who
Jonathan Majors is? The actor. You'll notice him from Creed 3. He's the big bad in Creed 3, and he's also Kang the Destroyer from all the MCU stuff, from TV shows and movies.
He's the new Thanos.
He's the new Thanos, right?
And he was also the lead in Lovecraft Country, that HBO J.J. Abrams show.
Yeah.
His career was blowing up right now. In fact, he was in a series of like U.S. Army recruitment commercials and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And when this thing hit, those commercials disappeared real quick.
Oh, I'm sure.
Is this real or is he getting Me Too'd?
I don't know.
So what happened exactly?
He got arrested in New York after a 911 call was put in saying that he was being abusive and harassing. I believe so. And the cops came and arrested him. And it's just been like, ever since that bell has been rung, like people have been coming out of the woodwork. Like, oh yeah, he did this to me. And then like people come over here. Oh, he did this to me that one time. And then like people from high school, dude, he's got people coming out of like his childhood going, oh yeah, he's always been a dick.
I always look at these kind of things with a grain of salt, because, you know, in my real life job, I see things all the time where people get in trouble for nonsense, for bullshit. You know, I've seen guys and I've seen women and men get arrested for spousal assault. And all they literally do is like, let me see your hand. Come here. Let me see your hand.
What are you doing?
It's like grab somebody like that.
Oh no.
Oh shit. You know, it's like, it's insane.
Well, I know that with this Jonathan Majors thing. So like the complainant or alleged victim, it was like a 30-something-year-old woman, and she claimed that he was violently assaulted her. And Majors Camp has come out and emphatically denied these charges. I don't know where the investigation has gone.
I've got an update from 2 hours ago that everything's been taken back. In a statement to NPR Tuesday, Majors' defense attorney, I can't pronounce her name, claimed that the woman has taken back her allegations in written statements, and that Majors called 911 himself over concerns for her mental health. So it sounds like it's all
money grubbing gold digger.
Whoa, that's wild.
But they were also like, the minute the story hit, there was talk about him getting removed from his Marvel roles, getting like basically blacklisted.
What that does is that switches the conversation to me from that into my head. It switches the conversation to how fast everybody is. Man, it switches the conversation to how everybody is so willing to quickly jump on the fucking bandwagon to condemn this guy.
Oh, the hate wagon. Like I said, people were coming out of the woodwork.
It's stupid.
You go on Twitter and there was like, oh, I went to school with him and he did this, and this other was like, oh, I worked with him on this project and he was a jerk and this. I'm like, I had no idea. I didn't look into any of the details of the actual arrest. I was just like flipping through Twitter to see what was being said, and I'm like, man, yeah, people will jump. Well, if they think it's safe, they'll freaking jump on it to get their 15 minutes of fame.
I don't like it.
The question is did Disney pay this woman off to pull these charges back because they have so much invested in Majors?
Wouldn't that be something? The new lead villain of the MCU, the billion-dollar industry that these guys are like, just give her a freaking check and tell her to shut up.
Such TMZ bullshit. It's nonsense.
You think it's nonsense?
Yeah. There's two sides to every story, and there's a lot of gray area. And there's the instances where you see the football player beat the shit out of his wife in the elevator. That's on camera. And then there's these things where it's like, oh, he touched me weirdly on my shoulder when I didn't want to move. It's just stupid shit.
It's just wild how fast things can change. I'm sure there's people at Disney that were just freaking sweating bullets when this first came out.
Oh, it did some damage. This didn't help him. Wow. He's gonna have to go on some kind of apology tour for something he didn't probably even do.
Yeah, and people heard the story about the crime, but they haven't heard the update about like, oh, there was no crime apparently.
The story is maybe she's a crazy bee. And she made some shit up.
Well, I mean, the report I'm reading right now, the report said that she had minor injuries to her neck and head. So something happened for sure.
Maybe he was trying to defend himself.
I don't know. That's hard to say. But I did think when this first came out, I was like, man, I wonder if they're gonna if he just tanked the MCU, because I mean they're struggling as it is, right? Like the MCU right now is not in a good place. Not like it was for Phase 4 or Phase 3 or whatever.
Victoria Alonso getting fired. From Marvel.
Yeah.
Victoria Alonso.
But she made a big stink about how she got lawyers and all this kind of stuff and was going to sue Disney and all this for defamation and wrongful firing or whatever, but they're already in backroom conversations for a settlement. I saw that.
Yeah.
I mean,
give me
these
$8 million and I'll walk.
This is just TMZ nonsense.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, she's a fucking scapegoat for phase 4 because phase 4 was a big pile of donkey shit, and somebody's got to take
the
the
fall
bullet
for it. Yeah, it's not going to be Kevin Feige. Not his fault.
Nope.
Not his fault. He's working on Star Wars.
No, he's not.
Did they get him away from Star Wars?
All the
no,
Star
they
Wars
canceled
projects,
his Star Wars project.
All the projects are canceled. There's no Star
Jesus.
Wars movies except I think one going on right now, right? Maybe 2.
Well, I thought they announced something.
The Acolyte show is something that.
So the Acolyte show is being filmed.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie is still moving forward.
Yeah.
And the one that Damon Lindelof wrote is being taken over by Stephen S. DeKnight from Peaky Blinders.
Ooh.
So that one's still going forward.
Now that's interesting.
And it's like Danny said, Disney fired her. Kevin did not fire her.
Oh, did you guys
or the robot Kevin?
you guys talk about
Kevin?
Mandalorian on the Saturday show?
Yes,
Yeah,
we did.
we always
You
talk about
did?
it.
You talked
Star
about
Trek and Mandalorian. If you listened, you would know these things.
I'm at work and I don't get to have the fun conversations I have left with freaking
what
Jonathan
do you want
Majors.
to talk about the Mandalorian? We can talk about the Mandalorian.
I'm just curious what your thoughts were
It's
on
awful.
Ahmed Best popping in there, saving the day.
Nice little gimmick casting.
Nice little nod.
Yeah, I thought it was silly.
Give it cost to casting.
See, I actually really like that because I feel like Ahmed Best got really kind of
A raw deal with
a
Jar
raw
Jar.
deal, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like to have him come back and like, actually like embody this character and kind of give him a second chance. I feel like if anyone deserved it, it was him.
Yeah.
I feel like, the prequels did him dirty.
Oh yeah, that's special.
You're such a curmudgeon.
Can't give a fuck. It's like it's just I just don't care. Ahmed Best got this moment. It's not like he wasn't already enshrined in the world of movies as
A character that nobody likes.
as a notorious character that he's made his mark on the movie world.
He's got to come back as a Jedi.
Everybody knows who Ahmed Best is, so now they put him in some stupid comic book.
I'll tell you the truth, man. I didn't know who played Jar Jar until very, very recently. Like probably around the times when the sequel started coming out.
Yeah.
Before that, I was like, who the heck is Ahmed Best? I was like, oh, that's the dude who played Jar Jar. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I thought he went off and like did other things. I would have done what Adam Driver did.
I've never had an issue.
Adam Driver, right? He doesn't like Kylo Ren, right? So what does he do? He goes out and films like 17 other random, weird, like obscure art film movies, and it's like he's all over the place. He gets his name out there in more than just one thing. Like I think like if you're an actor who doesn't like a character that you get stuck playing for 3 movies or whatever, like the best thing you could do is just go and spam every other genre out there.
Right.
Do drama, do comedy, do sci-fi, do this, do that.
Have you heard like Daisy Ridley came out recently in a like interview in some magazine about how Star Wars basically killed her career. Like she hasn't been able to get cast in anything since Star Wars.
That's weird because all the other 3 guys that were the 3 bigs in Star Wars, Disney,
except for John,
they've all gone on ahead of the movies and stuff.
John Boyega has done a couple of projects.
Has made probably a dozen movies.
Yeah, he did a couple of cool. I don't know. I didn't watch him, but I know his name has been attached to a couple of movies for sure.
Well, it was funny because on Twitter people were saying like it's not because of Star Wars, it's because you're a bad actress.
I don't know if she is or not. I liked her in Orient Express. She was in that movie, that murder mystery movie.
I feel like she's like a poor man's what's her name? The girl from Pirate of the Caribbean.
Keira Knightley. Yeah,
she's a poor man's Keira Knightley.
It's interesting.
I think she just needs a better agent. Get her in some more movies.
Yeah, I think Oscar Isaac. He's been in a ton of stuff.
He's in Dune.
He played Apocalypse for crying out loud.
He did play Apocalypse. He hated that movie too.
But I'm just saying, he spreads it out, man. He's been in a lot of different stuff.
And then he went back to Marvel and he did.
So that says something to me about Daisy Ridley's management.
Oh yeah, he did Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. That's right. He's Moon Knight. So he's got that to fall back on.
He does his nerd stuff and he does the serious stuff.
He's Ex Machina. He's super famous in that movie. Yeah, I think she just needs a better agent who's going to put her out there. What's up?
We got a question here.
Super chat. Oh,
super chat, Danny. Matthew, $2 super chat from Dan. Are you going to keep your blue check mark after the first?
Yeah, I worked out a deal with Elon. He's going to hook me up. Unlike Shatner.
because he's a legacy check mark.
I am a legacy. I had it before it was cool.
Yeah.
You did.
You were so proud of that when that happened
Oh
too.
my
You're like,
God.
guys, I got a blue check mark.
I'm super important.
Like, oh, now
Yeah.
everybody has one.
I got one now, bitch. $8.
You got to pay the same as he does.
He's so mad about it. I get
I get to pay $7.
Oh, this is $1 off.
Looks just like mine.
I put no stock into those things.
I
don't
love.
care.
I have a really good time on Twitter these days with the checkmark thing, because every once in a while you'll see people with these memes. And it'll say, "This is the old. This guy paid $8 for his blue check mark," and I downloaded one that says, "This guy can't afford $8." To reply back to it.
It's true. I don't want to pay $8.
Yeah.
I really don't. I have no desire to. I don't use Twitter all that much anyway.
You can't live without that poll feature. You can't vote in polls if you don't have your check
I don't
mark.
care. And you know, it's funny. Is like Elon said, like, "Oh, I'm doing this to prevent bot farming and stuff like that." But I'm like, all you need, somebody invest a little bit of money into this, and you could have a bunch of bots with blue check marks too. Like, it doesn't. I don't know.
I mean, it goes beyond that. Where basically, like, if you're not a paying member of Twitter, like, you don't show up in the For You feed at all, which is basically like the shot across the bow for the bot armies that Elon's trying to like fight against, because he's like,
more power to him. Kill the bots.
Yeah, I'm
the
not.
bots.
I'm not arguing. I mean, do what you want to do, but I'm not really along for the ride.
It's just like, Elon Musk bought a business. He's trying to make it profitable. That's it. It's capitalism. I have no problem with this. If you don't want to stay, don't stay. If you want to give her $8, give her $8. I don't.
Give
a shit either way.
There's other.
It's
apps.
a tool.
There's there's other things out there, and the podcast account has the $8 thing. Like, I really don't feel the need to do it for my personal account. Like, I just don't.
You and Shatner.
Me and Shatner. Hey, if I'm going to be on anybody's side, I'll take Shatner's. That sounds like a good idea.
It's like I don't want to pay my $8. It's like, okay, come on, Bill. Whatever.
Do you guys want to hear a crazy story I just found?
Sure.
From AP, Associated Press, right? Is that the website?
Yep.
Okay, so it's official. This ain't some nonsense. In a surreal moment in an already surreal war, they're talking about Ukraine.
Oh, Lord.
The grave but calming baritone voice of Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker of Star Wars, is urging people to take cover whenever Russia unleashes aerial bombardment. So he's saying, so Mark Hamill is using his voice in air raids in Ukraine. It says, "Attention, air raid alert." The Jedi Knight's voice says, "Proceed to the nearest shelter." That's so weird.
Is that kind of like when they got James Earl Jones to do like the GPS directions?
I want Samuel L. Jackson's turn, motherfucker.
Super chat from JT Gunn. Thanks, buddy. I give $8 to SNP. LOL.
You do.
But that was only $2.
And look how many perks you get, buddy. No, that's great.
JT's a double dipper.
Isn't that wild, dude?
Yeah.
They got Mark Hamill doing voiceovers for war zones now. That seems
It'd be funny if
weird.
it was in the Joker voice.
Oh my God.
That would be funny.
Jeez. I looked at that and I can't believe he's doing
I don't
that.
want to go
That's
down
weird.
the Ukraine thing too deep.
No, I'm not trying to pick up the war thing. I just thought it was
Yeah.
a fascinating thing that Mark Hamill is doing.
No politics.
Yeah, no politics here.
Unless it's culture war related. But I guess you could probably twist it to get there.
You can get politics out of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not our, well, I guess half our money is going towards it. So I guess it is kind of our war, huh?
Oh, it's most certainly our
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
Proxy war.
Good old Biden.
Gotta get that war machine cranking out new product.
All right, we're going to move to the chat now, guys. If there's anything in particular that you would like us to talk about, please drop it in the comments. And
Oh, hey, we could
we'll
go back
for it.
to, we got some,
What do you got?
we got questions from our patrons and stuff
You do?
that we need to ask.
Oh, that's right.
Let me go back and get some of these.
Hit me with it. What is
Alright.
that? That's
I know these are in Discord. So I
in our
got
club members area, right?
Club members Discord. So we asked our club members to ask us some questions that we could answer on air and maybe turn into shorts or whatever. So let me find some of these.
I got it right here.
Well, I'm gonna find it too.
Okay. Do you want to read them?
Yeah, I'll read them.
Okay.
Club members chat, right?
Yep.
All right. So
Go to saltynerdclub.com and
how far
join
do I
up
go?
in the club members area. You have to be on Patreon as well to get access to this
All
chat.
right, here we go.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start going down the list here.
Take it away.
JT, blah, blah. Do you want us to ask questions as a video No,
just read the questions,
I know.
dude. Why do you have to be a dick?
I know. All right. Bro Buffett. Here's a few. He has some questions. Off the top of his head. We'll just go around the table. We'll start with Matthew. What do you think is the most overrated movie?
That's a hard one.
It is.
Probably Avatar.
Oh man, you took my answer.
Goonies.
That's good.
Fuck you.
That's good. That's good.
What about you?
Return of the Jedi.
Ooh,
Pretty
shots
overrated.
fired.
Pretty overrated. But yeah, Avatar.
Wow.
Avatar is completely overrated. But yeah, I mean,
very much.
Yeah,
It's just Dances with Wolves.
Yeah,
with blue
is.
people.
That's another overrated movie.
Well, what? How dare you, Kevin Costner? Come on, bro. Movie's dope.
God. What movie deserves more attention? I didn't prep for these at all.
No, you did not. You have any ideas whatsoever?
More attention.
What movies needs more attention?
Butt Boy.
Shut up with
Butt Boy.
Butt Boy needs a lot more attention.
You can't criticize John Wick and in the same live stream talk about how much you like Butt
I
Boy.
like Butt Boy.
That
says two guys who haven't even seen
is
the movie.
a recipe for disaster.
The words coming out of your mouth just sound really bad. I like that movie, yeah, Butt Boy.
Oh man, good. You see this? Foxhound is saying Revenge of the Sith is overrated.
Oh, it's totally overrated.
All the prequels are overrated.
Yeah, the entire prequel trilogy.
You're among your people here, Foxhound.
Yeah, I've been fighting that fight since
1999. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody, I said that on Twitter somewhere. I can't remember where, but somebody was talking about the prequels, and I was like, "Yeah, I've been on this hate train since 1999."
Oh man, I made one tweet about how George Lucas isn't a very.
They came
yeah,
after you. I saw that. I was like,
"How dare you?
How dare you? Not George Lucas.
Yeah,
no,
they were as bad as the Snyder cult in their outrage.
Yeah,
like how dare you say George Lucas isn't a good.
I love
George. George is a good idea, man.
He is a very good idea, man.
Great idea, man.
Yeah. He just needs people to hone his ideas.
He needs his people though to rein his ass in.
Mm-hmm. He needs people to tell him when his ideas suck. Yeah. Because when that happens, he can come up with better ideas.
I think that's true of both Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Like they need to have people to bounce things off of because both of those guys have some pretty kooky ideas sometimes.
Good on the list.
I like this one, Anthony. RRR needs more attention. I think a lot of people have heard of it, but I don't think a lot of people are giving it the.
I think RRR has run its course. I think
it's out.
I think
it's
people
coasting
that
out.
are going to watch it have watched it.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I don't know if I want to watch it again and talk about it because every time I do, we get accosted by all these animals from fucking India.
It's Beam, not
it's Beam.
No, it's not even that. It's like, you need to watch Bahubali, same director, right now. Or I'm going to come to your home and kill your goats or some shit. It's like, fuck you. I don't even want to watch it now because you guys are telling me to watch this thing so much.
A lot of the comments on our RR videos, they have the cap lock stuck on.
Oh
sure.
God. It's like, come on. I know you're from
Here's another one. What movie that never got one really needs a sequel?
Clan of the Cave Bear.
Clan of the Cave Bear? No.
What was it?
They need
Ayla.
They need to, it's like, I wanted to buy the rights to that series, movie rights, and I want us to make that movie. All 8 of them.
8?
Or whatever. Every book. I think those would be fantastic.
You're nuts.
No way.
Nobody's going to watch them.
They absolutely would.
No.
Are you for real?
I think you underestimate the book fan base.
I think you do.
I think you guys are overestimating the book. How much money are you going to spend on making one of these? What's your budget?
What do you think you can spend for each one of these? 30 million?
That's it?
35,
so there's no big
million?
names in it.
No.
And you're going to film everything in the woods in California.
Sure.
Okay.
And not here in the desert and shit.
It's going to be an indie film then.
I think you could do everyone, and I think they would all triple their budget.
Well, if you go low budget like that, you do indie film, and then you get a good press release going.
How hard is it?
Sundance Festival, and you get a bunch of praise from a bunch of hippies.
These aren't dinosaur movies. There's no fucking CGI T-Rexes and shit.
I'm not saying they are.
You're
gonna need a bear though.
It's mastodons and bears and
where are you gonna get a mastodon?
No, if I can get an elephant with big teeth, whatever. Clan of the Cave Bear. The whole series needs to be made into books.
Well, good luck with that. I'll help you.
Starring Adam Driver.
Yes, can we get Adam Driver?
It'd be kind of porny though, probably. You think?
Why? Because of Adam Driver?
Well, there's a lot of non-consensual stuff going on.
Oh yeah, because the caveman people.
Ayla's so ugly.
Yeah, for sure.
Bend over. Oh, you
Yes.
can't make those movies today.
I think you can.
No.
I bet you could get the rights really cheap.
Vader would definitely prove you wrong on
I
that
would
one.
totally do that.
Speaking
movie.
of,
Will you ever let JT back in the studio? No.
no, is that a question?
It is.
Not after the memes he's made.
No, fuck that guy.
Oh God, he goes over the board on
Yeah,
the Photoshop.
it's a little bit much. Getting sick of your ass. Why don't you move to Texas or something? Just kidding, bro.
Oh man, we got a recasting thing here. If you could replace an actor with any different actor in a movie, what would it be? I would
Every actor with Mark Wahlberg.
yeah.
It makes it better.
Replace
Makes it better.
He does make it better.
Makes everything
Say
better.
hi
what's
to your
that? What's
mother.
that? Carradine? What's his name? Mark Carradine or John?
David
Dave Carradine. Replace him in Kill Bill with Mark Wahlberg.
I got a sequel. I got a sequel question. Remember the one what needs a sequel?
What's that?
True Lies needs a sequel
Mm.
with Arnold.
Well,
What?
it kind of got one because it's now a TV show.
True
It-
Lies
it
is a
is?
TV show?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Sounds terrible. Needs to be a movie.
They're too old
I'm sick
now.
of them making.
I can't see Jamie
I'm
Lee
so
Curtis. doing that.
tired of all of this terrible streaming network content.
They need something to fill the ranks,
it's
man.
like it's enough. It's like make good shit, not quantity.
I actually think it's worse because it's broadcast TV content. The True Lies
that's
TV
no
show.
good. That's
I
no
like this.
good.
Carl Urban's Dread needs a sequel. Absolutely.
Absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely.
I
Remove,
think there's still like, I think it still has a shot. Of happening.
remove Jared Leto from all movies.
I agree with that.
Well, I liked him in Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. He was great. He was great in that movie.
Yeah, but you could pop someone else in that role. And
Could.
they'd be good too.
He could. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. JT's questions. Who takes longer for showtime between the four of us, I guess? What
Who takes longer for what?
showtime for us to do the show?
I think like prep and everything.
Prep?
Yeah.
Oh, Kadish takes
Kadish, 100%.
weeks.
This
So
is
it's
how
like
much
my full-time job.
this is how much prep time I put into the show. I show up,
You show
I
up and
take a
say,
couple shots. Let's go.
let's go.
All right.
What are we talking about today?
Okay. I watched that last night.
I do all this work and I email it to you guys. I'm lucky if you even check your email.
I check my emails every time. I have yours
Then he gets-
favorited and
Yeah.
saved.
All right, we got some rapid fire questions from Nick here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Backyard TARDIS. We're just gonna do these really quick all the way around the table, one at a time.
Okay.
So, favorite Goonie.
Oh, mouth.
The Italian family.
The Fratellis.
Really,
Yes.
the Fratelli?
Yeah.
Chunk. Okay. Paper or plastic?
Plastic.
Paper.
Paper.
Okay.
Pineapple on pizza?
Yes.
Fuck no.
Hell yes.
Pineapple on pizza is
Pineapple.
It's
delicious.
on pizza
disgusting. You don't put
rules.
fruit on pizza.
Well, you put pineapple.
Tomatoes are fruit.
Oh, actually, well, actually,
What
God
about-
dang
what
it.
about olives? Are olives fruit?
No, olives is a
So what?
seed. I don't know. It's,
You don't even know it
they
at
have
all.
pits. You don't even know what it is.
olive, I guess it would be a
gross.
fruit. It's got the seeds on the inside, right? Doesn't that count?
It's
Qualify
got-
as a fruit?
yeah, it's got the pits, right?
Yeah, it's got
All right.
pits.
Favorite, going on with Nick questions. Favorite JCVD movie?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with Hard Target.
Oh, that's a good one. I was gonna say Hard Target too, but I think I might. What's the one where he's from? He goes to France or he goes across the sea and he meets his twin. Was that Double Impact?
Double Impact.
Double Impact.
I guess what it is.
Yeah.
Mine is Cyborg. That's
Yeah?
that's my favorite one. Yeah.
Okay, all
Actually,
right.
like my all-time favorite JCVD project is not a movie. It's Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Yeah, that's pretty
Mm.
good.
I
That's a
love
good
that.
one,
I
yeah.
love that show
Oh, Bloodsport. How come nobody said Bloodsport?
Because it's not
because Jude's not here.
Cyborg.
You know, Jude's favorite might be Sudden Death
Kumite.
because of the hockey.
Yeah, Sudden Death was a lot of fun.
Favorite dinosaur.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, on the offhand of being basic, T-Rex. It's like, what else is there?
There's
the best one.
Velociraptors.
It's the best one. Everybody loves T-Rex, man.
I'm going with T-Rex.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with T-Rex. It's got to be.
Indominus Rex. What is that thing
That's a
called?
fake one.
Is that a
Don't
fake
no,
one?
no, that's bullshit.
It could be real. My favorite one of those ones on 65 that look like iguanas.
That movie was such trash.
It was awful.
Terrible movie.
Has our release of that one come out?
It's already out.
It's out.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, from Nick, Batman or Spider-Man?
Ooh, that's a good one. I love both. I'm gonna have to go with Batman though.
100% Batman.
Gonna go against the grain.
You say Spider-Man?
I'm gonna go Spider-Man.
Really? Because of Mary Jane, huh?
Spider-Man was my jam.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yep.
But Batman's got a redhead too. He's got Barbara Gordon.
Not the same. That's weird.
It's
It's like Commissioner Gordon's daughter.
Did you see the cartoon? See the cartoon where they bang?
No.
You didn't see that one?
No.
I can't remember. It was like
Wasn't that the Killing Joke?
it was either the Killing
adaptation?
Joke or it was yes, it was the Killing Joke because that was the plot point that like when the Joker comes and shoots her, he's all bent out of shape about it.
Can you make the address available? Mailing address.
That's a different. That's not one of the questions.
The answer is yeah. Check Discord.
Batman, 100%. Is that it?
No, there's more questions. I think.
No, I think that's it, buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it.
Anchovies are uncool. I agree.
Anchovies
Yeah,
are
don't
gross.
put fish on.
Don't put
pizza.
fish on pizza. Never put fish on pizza unless you're in California.
No one ever gives water dinosaurs any love. Are they dinosaurs then? Because they're underwater.
They're fish.
Wouldn't they be fish or whales? Megalodon. That's not a dinosaur, but that's a dope ass freaking animal. Have you guys seen the whole Alaska boneyard thing? Have you watched that episode of Joe Rogan?
I guess not.
You didn't?
No.
Bro, you should check this out. It's wild. This guy up in Alaska, he's some kind of a gold miner. He owns like hundreds of acres up there in the middle of nowhere. And he found this plot of land that's on his property that's just filled with freaking every bone from a prehistoric animal that you can freaking
Sweet.
think of. There's like
Ice Age animals or
Yeah.
prehistoric fossils?
no Ice Age.
Okay.
Like hundreds of thousands of
pretty
mammoth bones, like full tusks
Down
and
the
everything.
graveyard. Nice.
Yeah, great. They're wondering like how did this all show up in one little place? It was wild. And he said that the company that owned that land before had sent a bunch of samples to a museum in New York, and then that museum took the samples and just dumped them into the river and left. What are you guys laughing at? What's going on in the chat?
Oh, people are just talking about Vader's feet.
Oh, we're not doing that again, are we? I'm gonna leave. It's been
$1,000.
thank you. Oh, don't put a price tag on it. No.
And I'm taking it home. It's my money. I'm not donating it to the pod.
It's like cash
mine.
out. Would you use foodfinder.com?
No,
Why not?
because it's weird.
It's just your feet, man.
I'm not into that thing.
It's just it's not what you're into. It's what other people are into. Oh, there's $5 towards the 1,000. We go from
I
Clay.
didn't say towards. I said $1,000 super chat.
Okay.
I will put my feet up for
Why do you have to
4
put
seconds.
why do you have to put a dollar amount on there? Has anyone checked out the new Amazon show Rabbit Hole with Kiefer
I
Sutherland?
have not.
It has a slow start, but it's not bad so
So-
far.
I've been wanting to find the time to check this out, and there was a new Netflix series that just dropped yesterday. It's called The Night Agent, which is I think kind of similar.
To the manager.
No. It's basically like it's very different from The Night Manager, but it looks similar to this Kiefer Sutherland show. So like I've been wanting to check both of them out, but
Okay.
I just haven't had the time. I just started watching with Jude the second season of Shadow and Bone, which we're 2 episodes in, and so far it's way better than the first season.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right on. I remember liking the first season decently enough.
Yeah,
I
we
might
actually
check it
have
out.
our season 1 review up on the channel.
Yes, we do. Yeah. If you guys want to check out Shadow and Bone season 1, we talked about that. And then
I just kind of forgot about that show.
I did
I'm
too.
not really that interested.
I gotta catch up with Carnival Row. I love the first season. I gotta check out the second one.
Yeah.
The first season we did when we first started the podcast.
Yep.
Got some history there.
All right. Well, I'm out of topics. You guys want to wrap this up? Call it good?
I don't know. It's up to the chat. You
Yeah,
got
it's
some
up to the
stuff- You got
chat.
something for us to talk about, guys?
What else you got for us?
I'm good for
Let us
like
know.
another half hour or so, but we gotta have topics to talk about.
8-10 Night Agent. Oh, 8 out of 10. Okay. If you guys haven't seen Night Manager, go check that out. I love that freaking show.
What are you thinking about Star Trek? I haven't got to talk Star Trek with you at all.
Picard?
Yeah,
I freaking love it.
it's good, right?
It's insanely good. Like it's better than most, if not all, the movies.
I'm going to tease something, and I was going to tell you guys about this after we get off the air. But
Can you say it on before? Don't get yourself in trouble. Can you actually say it on air?
yeah, I can hint at it.
Okay.
Okay.
Be careful. Just be careful.
So me and the Popcast guys have something brewing that is going to happen here in Vegas that
Sweet.
has to do with Picard season 3.
Nice.
Ooh, we have a studio. We're gonna record some shit.
I bet we are.
All right,
Sweet.
that's awesome. Yeah, I've been absolutely in love with this show, and I
It's
think
so much fun.
I tweeted this out. My dad did not like season 1 of Picard, and he's like, I'm not watching it.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's not as fun as it used to be. I like the old show, whatever. He's like, the one thing I really liked about Picard, or not Picard, but about TNG was I felt like the entire crew was just having a blast making this show.
Mhm.
He's like, that's what I loved about it. And I didn't get that from Picard season 1, so I stopped watching it. And I'm like, oh no, you got to check out season 3. And I think at this time there was like 3 episodes out. And he texted me. He's like, I just finished all the episodes that are out right now, and this show is awesome. He's like, I love the dynamic of the crew.
Yeah.
I love seeing all the older cast. They're treated so well. They look like they're having fun again. He's like, this is great. And that just like swelled my heart. I loved it so much hearing that from him. It was really cool. And like even the stuff, like I think early on when like first 2 episodes or 3 episodes, I was saying like, not really into the Raffi Worf stuff.
No.
Not my thing.
I'm still not into the Raffi
but
stuff, but I like Worf.
We're getting into what season episode 6, I think, or 7, and I'm like, this is just fun. This is great. Everything about it's awesome.
Worf is all like, I don't care. I will swear on my children's children that I will go to the ends of the universe.
Yeah,
and I will spill much blood to rescue Riker or whatever the hell he says. It's so Worfy.
You know what's crazy is that when Picard season 1 came out, we were still doing the podcast out of your living room.
Mm-hmm. I remember. It was
really
a long time ago.
Going week to week.
Yep. But this show's freaking awesome. It does everything right. I have the only thing this week. I mentioned it on Twitter, but I was like, and I don't think I hit send on it. But I was like, I think it's a little convenient. I'll allow it. I'm not mad about it, but I think it's a little convenient that, spoiler alert for the newest episode, that Reddick kidnaps Troy.
Oh,
and it just so happens to be that Riker was the one who stayed behind on Daysum Station or whatever it's called.
So
they were like, "Oh, we got you, Riker. Just happened to have your."
There
wife
was the setup at the beginning of the episode where she's all like,
"We're gonna
go find everybody that has anything to do with him."
Yeah.
But is it Troy or is it a shapeshifter?
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. It's like, I don't think it's Troy.
You don't think it's Troy?
No. And I know that's really easy and cheap and a cop out,
but that's what they would do.
But I feel like that is what they would do. And it's
not that. I mean, like, yes,
and it's not like Riker can like radio out and check.
It's a little gimmicky, but if you have that power, why wouldn't you use it?
Yeah,
I get it.
So something's gonna happen in the next episode where he's gonna like
ask her a question, and she's not gonna know.
She's gonna make up.
It'll have to do with his son's death or something, right?
Yeah.
The son or daughter?
Son.
But we'll find out. That's just my theory. I don't think it's really her.
I like that theory.
Mr. Farnsworth wants to know, what are we most looking forward to this year?
I don't think it's going to be good, but I'm looking forward to Indiana Jones 5. I just want to see. I want to see what happens. I want to see how it's handled. Really curious.
I'm looking forward to Dune.
Dune 2.
Dune 2.
Sure.
If it's going to come out this year, I think it might come out this year.
Does it? There was a bunch of movies coming out this year.
It comes out in October.
Mario.
Yeah, Mario.
Dude, I am dead set stoked for
that movie's
Mario.
Gonna make $1 billion.
It's gonna make so much freaking. I gotta take my kids.
Yeah,
there's gonna be like 5 people going to the movie. I want to spend $100 just to go see
I might even take my wife to that one.
Yeah, we so Navocat, we are planning on reviewing Mario on our live stream.
Yes,
the week after it comes out.
Yep, that's right. Oh, and while we're at it, now thank you for reminding me. Very excited to announce this. But we will be having Charlie Allen and his son next week on this live stream on Tuesday to talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
They worked on the movie as part of the stunt cast, and they did a bunch of really cool stuff over there. And they are willing to come on and talk to us about it. So we're going to talk about D&D. We'll probably go and watch the movie this weekend or whatever, whenever we can. And then on Tuesday, we're having them on as guests. If you don't know who they are, I interviewed him last year on the podcast. Super awesome guy. You'll recognize him from a bunch of really awesome movies like Gladiator. He was that like barbarian German savage guy at the beginning that was holding up the head and shouting at Russell Crowe. He was also in a bunch of Ridley Scott movies like Outlaw King with Chris Pine. And he's been working with a bunch of movies like Swords and Shields and stuff. So he's a really nice guy. He's going to come on the podcast with his son to talk about D&D next week on Tuesday. So be there. I'm very excited about that.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Troy is a changeling, Anthony says, because the actress said she spent a lot of screen time with Data. Spoiler alert. Maybe. I don't know.
Picard is better than Mando now?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, by far.
Unbelievably better. Mando's a joke. Mando's a
terrible.
joke.
It's a terrible show right now.
It's not even up to the quality of like the Clone Wars cartoon.
No.
Like the Clone Wars cartoon has better storytelling than the live action.
It's the Bad Batch right now, but yeah, the Bad Batch is better.
Is it? I don't watch Bad Batch.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the old cartoon.
Yeah,
that was. I think it's been done and gone for a while, but like,
I go so far as to say the prequels are better than Mando right now.
Yeah, Mando's kind of a joke.
This thing this week where with the whole
the kid
with the puppet and the shooting match and.
No, dude.
And then the fucking medallion that weighs 30 pounds around Grogu's neck and the barfing up. It's like, get out of here.
What got me this week was that same kid getting eaten by a monster, flown halfway across the planet, and then he's still alive, gets spit out, and he's fine.
Yeah, 2 days later.
2 days later, and they're just like, we'll get to him eventually.
My favorite part is when the Mandalorians are chasing after the creature.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, like,
I'm out of gas.
And they fall, you know,
I'm out of gas.
How long have they flown? 50 miles? Then they just walk back through the massive desert.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb, dude.
What the?
I didn't know they could run out of gas. Remember in the Clone Wars movie or TV show where they were like in Mandalore and Obi-Wan Kenobi was there and they were doing this war?
Yeah.
They were flying all over the place. They never had to worry about gas.
Would you do a training camp on the beach next to a Crocker Gator feeding ground?
No.
With a bunch of underage kids? And
what got me too is they were like, we can't fire at the animal or it'll kill the youngling because we know because that happened last time. Yeah. We're like, this happened before?
Happens all the time.
What?
We just like go put a youngling out on a rock once in a while.
What are you still doing there? Leave. Yeah. It's insanely dumb, dude. It's so bad. It bums me out because like it was the only hope we really had for Star Wars for a while. Like season 1 and 2.
I feel like this entire season of Mando was written by Chat GTP.
Kind of feels
kind of feels like I think Chat GPT might be better.
I know you guys, Vader was talking about the human sex robots from the movie it's hard J. Jung E. But have you watched Better Than Us on Netflix and Humans on Amazon?
I have no. Are those documentaries? I'll definitely check those out.
No, it's like a UK TV show about androids.
Okay. You know, I can't wait for is Peripheral season 2. I want to get Vincenzo in here and talk about that show because that show's freaking. I love that show. It's so cool. I watched it with my wife and I was like, "This is awesome."
Vincenzo told us anytime we want to talk about season 1, he's down.
All right, cool. Let's get him in here. Can we fly him today?
My friend Vincenzo.
I don't know. He lives in Canada. Be kind of expensive.
I don't want to talk to Canadians, dude. they're too weird.
Hewlett's doing a new movie.
We do need to talk to Hewlett. We haven't had him on in a while.
It's been a minute, but he's busy.
We're hearing that it looks like Amazon's going to be announcing a new Stargate series soon.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I'm really worried about it. My wife is like,
you're worried about it?
Yeah.
Why?
This could be terrible.
You think it will?
I think so.
I think it depends on who's involved.
I mean, I don't know.
It's a 50-50.
Amazon's pretty sketchy.
It's pretty sketchy. Like sometimes Amazon makes good.
They can do that Chris Pine or the what is it? The
Chris Pratt show.
The Chris Pratt show.
Yeah. What was the name of that? Terminal List?
Or you can get the Lord of the Rings bullshit.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like they don't. Come on. There's no middle ground for them. It's like either super woke and terrible or awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, I hope Stargate's awesome, but it really just depends on. It just depends on who's writing it.
Gotta get a Doomcock was right hashtag in there.
I don't know what that means. Who?
He really wasn't.
About what?
About Star Trek. Yeah, Doomcock's taken a very hard line stance against all modern Star Trek. Yeah,
he's still salty about.
He's kind of backed into a corner. He couldn't say he liked it now if he wanted to.
Right, but at least he could be like, well, the other 2 seasons suck.
They do.
Then everybody would be like, yeah, you're right. But this one doesn't suck.
Well, he says any support for any Kurtzman era Star Trek is a support for Alex Kurtzman, and Star Trek won't get good until he's gone. That's his stance.
Clearly, that's not true.
I mean,
because Strange New Worlds doesn't suck. It's okay.
It's all right. It's not my favorite, but it's not as good as Picard season 3.
I watched an episode of it yesterday. The one where they redo the Vulcan, the last episode 10, where Kirk's in it. With the
they recast Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh Dare
They not only recast Kirk, but they redid Balance of Terror.
Yeah, that's the episode I'm talking about. No,
Oh,
it's really wild how they do it.
Really?
Yeah, watch it.
okay.
Episode 10. Yeah, I'm surprised you
It's
haven't
called
seen it.
like the Tenants of Mercy or something like that.
yeah.
Balance of Terror. Is that the one with the?
It's one where the Romulans.
Yeah,
It's like the ship to ship.
It's Kirk's
Yeah.
Run Silent, Run Deep moment.
Yeah,
where he's fighting the Romulans.
Yeah, it's a really interesting episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we reviewed it for
Yeah.
our Patreon
Yeah,
membership.
we did. It's good stuff. But
Yeah.
Star Trek doesn't. I don't know if I'm going to bother watching Discovery. I'm certainly not going to watch Discovery for a live stream. I don't think. But I don't know. Are we? We can do that on Saturdays.
I'm never watching Discovery again.
No, not at all.
Why would you?
I quit. I quit after season 3. I just couldn't. Do it anymore.
But Anson Mount is really good.
That sounds cool.
Ethan Peck as Spock is growing on me.
Is he?
He is.
His haircut's freaking me out.
It's a little different.
It's a little much.
It's okay. But and Picard season 3
is good.
It's
So
it's going to launch a spinoff. We're going to get Star Trek Legacy. I'm convinced it has to.
I want to talk to you about Legacy. So Legacy, Geordie LaForge was on The View or something talking about it. I didn't watch the video because I hate The View. I can't stand listening to him. But is Legacy the name of the show, or is that the name of a ship?
That's the Legacy would be is
like the
so
USS
like Vitalis
Legacy?
came out and he said, if I was going to do a new series,
right,
it would be called Star Trek Legacy, and it would have to do with
the legacy characters,
the next generation of the next.
So the LaForges, the Picards,
Probably,
the kids of the
Shaw,
next generation.
7,
Yeah. Okay.
Jack Crusher.
Yeah, I would be totally down for that. And as long as Vitalis was in charge of it, I think it would be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but the problem is it's still Kurtzman's name on it. But I don't think he really has a lot to do with it at this point, except sign checks.
Yeah,
and I think
sign checks and make it happen.
Except as long as the money keeps coming in, he'll keep signing the checks, right? Is that kind of the gist of it?
Yeah.
So
he's the executive producer. He's just there to. He's like it's like the Cages. He's just here to make sure that we show up on time and record shit.
Oh, that's all I do. Okay.
Do you have that?
Teasing you.
Do you have that Will Wheaton graphic standing by?
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, for sure.
Not have Will Wheaton. This is what we think about.
No, Will Wheaton's gone. He's done. He's just one of us. He's a podcaster now. Pull it up. Boom. Fuck you, Will Wheaton. Yeah, that's good.
Oldie but a goodie.
Name the movie. Name the movie in the comments, guys. Let me know if you know what movie that's from. Where did Will Wheaton get blasted with a machine gun?
Vitalis wants to fix Kirk's fate. I'm so down for Legacy.
Yeah, Vader, you remember when we were watching that episode?
Yeah, we're like, what's up with his bones?
Yeah.
That's weird.
We saw Kirk's name on there. We were like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, they got his body, right? And they put it in that little stasis thing.
Yeah, something. I don't know, man.
I mean, okay, so you guys mentioned, I did catch a little bit of your Saturday show, and I got a bone to pick with, I don't remember which one of you said it, but
probably me.
You said that you don't have to watch or don't have to have ever seen anything from season 1 and 2 of Picard, and that is completely false.
Except for they address it though. You're talking about
he's a body swap.
He's a synthetic.
So if you're watching Picard season 3 and you're like, well, somebody told me I didn't have to watch the other 2 seasons, and you go in there like, why is his body in Daysum Station and he's got a robot body now? Like, you have to have seen.
Well, I mean,
at least the first
tell
season.
you what you need to know in season 3, so you don't need to have watched the previous season.
Yeah, but there's no reason why. Like, oh, I have a robot body.
Well,
like,
no,
what?
they explain it. Like, they talk about, they had that whole hologram in the last episode where basically Singh's descendant talked about giving his Gollum to Picard and all that stuff. So like it's perfectly explained in season 3. You don't need to have watched season 1.
I don't know if I agree with that.
So there.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Mr. I have a bone to pick with you. I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, you guys were so adamant that you don't have to watch season 1 and 2, and I'm like, a big major plot point of this show is what happens from season 1.
We don't want anyone to watch seasons 1 and 2. We went through it so they wouldn't have to. I still have PSD from those.
PTSD. Yeah. No, I just thought it was funny that you said that. I'm like, I kind of think you do. You kind of need to know why he has a positronic body to begin with. Like, what's the deal with that? Oh, he got taken by space organs and swapped his body out for no reason. And he's old still, because that doesn't make any sense either.
He wasn't taken by space organs. He had that weird disease that Jack Crusher now has, and that killed him. Did
in canon, Picard had a childhood disease, correct?
Aromatic syndrome.
Yeah. Is that the same thing that we're dealing with in
Yeah.
this? Okay. And just Crusher has it now?
Yeah.
Do you think Crusher's going to take his father's name once the show ends
No.
and he's going to be Jack
I
Crusher?
think so.
He's not going to be Jack Picard
There's no reason for him to do that.
to honor his dad.
Everybody knows who his dad is.
Yeah, but you can't have like, okay, we've got Crash LaForge, and
Jack
why
Crusher.
wouldn't you have
So-
Jack Picard?
So
Like,
I have a theory. I think that the character of Picard is going to die at the end of this season,
mhm.
and Jack Crusher will take his name and take up the mantle of his father and be, the passing of the torch, the
Yeah.
heir to the throne going forward in Star Trek, if possible.
I think that's what's
Either
gonna
way.
happen.
I'm not going to get offended either way.
No,
Doesn't matter to me at all. I just want fun stories. That's all I want.
Gary says Picard TSD. He's got PTSD.
Accurate, very accurate.
Very
yeah.
accurate. That's a good comment. Nicely done.
Dude, I have heard so many stories about the behind the scenes going on Picard 1 and 2 as to why it became so bad. It's fucking crazy, man.
really.
It's fucking crazy. I still have my contacts over at Paramount. They tell me things sometimes.
Oh, got my contacts at Paramount. Contacts. Hey,
When
man,
you get a hold of Doomcock, you guys can share with your
get out of
fucking
here.
sources with each other.
Don't compare him to
My
Duke.
sources.
Don't do that.
I got
Notice how I didn't spill the beans about
I got
what was
sources
told.
too, pal.
Mr. Grace Randolph over here.
I got a source right here at the wall.
Dude, people are loving our Grace Randolph live stream.
That's wild to me. But everybody just universally is irritated by that chick.
Well, have you listened to her?
Not in a long time. Nope.
I think Chrissy Mayer's impression of her is actually better than
She does a better.
She does a better Grace Randolph than Grace Randolph.
does, yeah.
Well, you guys ready to wrap this up?
I'm about done.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. We'll be here every single week on Tuesdays doing a live stream. And don't forget, next week we will be having a guest on to talk about the new Dungeons and Dragons movie. People have worked on the movie, part of the stunt cast. Shout out to Charlie and his boy from Combat International over there in Scotland. Great guys. Looking forward to having them on as guests next week. So make sure you're here for that. And as always, stay salty, my friends. Matt Vader, say goodbye to the people.
Thanks for hanging out with us every day. Thanks for hanging out with us today, guys. Just for the record, this is paint on my shirt. It's not dandruff, just so everybody knows.
Oh, now you say it
I'm a little
at the
embarrassed.
end of the
I'm a
show.
little embarrassed about the paint flex, but whatever. It is what it is.
All right.
4K cameras.
I know,
Pick up
man.
everything.
I know.
All right, Cater, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people. Thanks for showing up today. And be sure to check us out on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's when me and Vader get crazy and wild and talk about
Crazy.
Star Trek and Mandalorian and all types of stuff. Fun guest. We've got Dave Cullen going to be on the show.
What?
Coming
Dave
this Saturday,
Cullen.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And
Man.
unfortunately, Jude was feeling under the weather today. I wish she would have been here to back me up with the Butt Boy review, but
We're never speaking of that again.
check it out if you get a chance. It's a very interesting movie. And we'll guess we'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, guys, stay tuned real quick. We're going to have a quick word from our sponsors as we get out of here. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Adios.
We just threw away our old wallets. Want to know why? Because we just discovered the most efficient smart wallet in the world. Exter has revolutionized the wallet, and we will never go back to bifold. We are so impressed. Exter wallets are super slim and sleek. They are half the size of a conventional bifold wallet. Compact and modular, they hold 12 cards or more plus cash. And that means no more stuffing that bulky, worn-out bifold wallet into your back pocket. Forget sitting on that uncomfortable lump and slide Exter into your front pocket instead. This high-quality wallet combines Italian leather, space-grade aluminum, and carbon fiber. Plus, it includes built-in RFID blocking to protect you from wireless theft. And you know how hard it can be to replace all of your cards if your wallet is stolen. Exter includes a tracking card to help you keep an eye on your belongings with a map, and you can even ring it for location assistance. This is the last wallet you'll ever buy. To get an Exter wallet like ours, visit shop.exter.com/thepopcast. Get 25% off your order when you use code THEPOPCAST at checkout. Join the wallet revolution and upgrade your quality of life with Exter today.